Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Yes, it is Dom time. We are loaded up. Laura Trump will be here a little bit later. A lot to talk about with her. And our attorney extraordinaire, Wally Zimmerlong, big-time federal attorney. You've heard him with all the big cases. He has Dan to come on because he's filing a lawsuit against the Mr. Softy truck going to the prison this Friday. So we'll give you all the details. All the Mr. Softy cones are coming home to roost for this commissioner out there that is out of control in Montgomery County, the lead commissioner there, who so far has dodged us as far as coming on and explaining himself. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Al Schmidt will be here, back for a return visit too. And this is always big because Al Schmidt is the guy controlling the infrastructure, Secretary of State in Pennsylvania, arguably the most important appointed official in the country. I would argue that. So he's going to be here, and one of the things we're going to talk about, this just broke, over in Lancaster County. And you might be thinking, why are Democrats concerned about that? They can't win it. Remember, it's a game of inches. Trump won Lancaster County by 16 points the last time. Harris is hoping maybe it'll be 15 this time, or 15 and a half. See what I'm saying? So the Secretary of State went after the Lancaster County Board of Elections because we have students there at Franklin and Marshall and I guess other places, other colleges, who are registered in 2 states. Yeah. Now, apparently that's legal. They register. I don't understand. I think you got to make up your mind. Which state do you want to be registered to vote in? Well, I don't know. I'd like to have the option. No. We're not fooling around anymore with these college kids and this nonsense. So he goes after them because they were evaluating whether they were going to vote in both states or not, which is illegal, of course. And the Republicans answered, there's no logical explanation for what we're getting from the Secretary of State, the threats. The Board of Elections has a duty to investigate where someone should actually be registered, and the staff has that same duty. So I'm going to ask Al about this tomorrow. He goes after them, saying they're not fulfilling their oath of office, their duty. I happen to think they are. You probably do too. I want to run down every one of these college kids. If it takes a while, it takes a while. Yo, kid, make up your mind. Which state do you want to be registered to vote in? Well, that's unfair. I'm going to college here. I'm in Timbuktu where I live. Well, then rescind your registration in Timbuktu if you're going to vote here. So this is just one example of how important what Al Schmidt is involved in. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, you're going to hear that. If you have a question, I've compiled a whole bunch of them since the last time. But if you heard it the last time, it was a very civil, and it will be elevated. We want to know this, and they have some things they want to clarify with you. So we're very happy. It's an unusual opportunity. I commend him for coming on. That's what this show's about. 1 o'clock tomorrow. All right, now a couple of sound bites. A little bit of sound here. Bret Baier talking about one of the issues of the day. And listen to how Bret Baier characterizes this. I'm going to ask Laura Trump about this. This 11th hour, or 10:30, not 11th hour maybe, on the election, suddenly all these generals and others coming out of the woodwork to talk about Trump and all the bad stuff he said about the military and also about Hitler. So listen to Bret Baier on with the 10 o'clock news on Fox saying, well, look at all these headlines. What do they tell you with Harris? Does it signal the data points in the early voting, like in Nevada? They are going tremendously for Republicans. They're worried because Republicans have taken to coming out early voting, mail-in balloting, and they might even be ahead in Arizona and Nevada, which is shocking. And they're getting the same data that Bret Baier is. So listen to Bret Baier say what this tells him.
Let's get a little political question in for you as well. Last night, Harris was asked about some of the state of the race. And I just want to show some of these headlines that our team put together here. The Democrats fear the race is slipping away. The clock is ticking on Kamala Harris. Early voting signals some early danger for her in Nevada. Dempsey warnings with youth in Arizona. And that there are ominous signs for Kamala Harris's blue wall because it could be collapsing. That's not me saying that. That's not Hemmer saying. That's not even Jesse Waters saying that. That is from reporters who are on the ground. And these are the headlines that they came back with. What's the feel of the race to you right now?
Yeah, I think all of those bullet points, all of those data points are accurate, and they're just raw numbers, early vote numbers. But we always have to have the caveat, and I think Republicans can feel good about that. But, you know, the get out the vote historically for Democrats has been really good in the closing days. It seems like Vice President Harris is closing with the threat to America from the former president. You saw that Atlantic piece referencing former Chief of Staff John Kelly talking about how the president talked about Hitler, and all of these things will be packaged together to make this closing argument that she's making alongside former Congresswoman Liz Cheney. Does that work? We don't know. Right now, the momentum heading into this week seemed to be on the former president's side. But the get out the vote operation in different states is really the undetermined factor.
All right, so you're getting a sense where these headlines. Now, here's Robert Costa, who's with the Washington Post. I've had him on. I think he's a Philadelphia guy originally. He listened to the totality of this. I don't think he's hiding it. He's talking about the fact that this is coordinated, kind of election interference. In other words, there's a coordination going on with all these entities back to the threat to democracy. They're all over the place today. And General Kelly, and it pains me, given his service, is one of the leaders in this. Will he go on TV? We don't know yet, and say these things. But listen to the word coordinated here. And why are they doing this? They're doing it because this is all they have, and because there are signs the blue wall is collapsing. I told you in Nevada, the early voting is shocking. In Arizona also. I think those are real good indicators because we know on Election Day, Republicans are going to come out of the woodwork. So here's Robert Costa.
Bob, why do you think Kelly is speaking up now?
Because we are just days away from the presidential election, and retired General Kelly and so many people who worked for former President Donald Trump in the White House are speaking up with new alarm about the possibility of him returning to power. And there is a sense inside political circles at the highest level that a return of Trump to the White House could lead to dramatic changes in U.S. foreign policy, U.S. domestic policy with his proposal for mass deportations. And there is fear. And the Harris campaign is playing into that a bit by having former Congresswoman Liz Cheney on the campaign trail talking about some of these themes.
All right, so it is coordinated. That's the bottom line here that's going on. Now, not necessarily illegal. I'm just saying this is all coming together. Is it a sign of just one final punch? Or is it a sign that the headlines are there from all these different reporters, not Fox? The clock is ticking on Kamala Harris. We have some stuff from that interview yesterday. Again, the most potent ad, the New York Post makes this point. The most potent ad out there this cycle could be this ad in which Harris comes on, and some of this from this NBC interview, some of it from previous interviews, and she cannot bring herself to, in any way, shape, or form, distance from the idea of sex change operations for illegal immigrants in prison. And just think what this brings together, this 130-second ad. It brings together the nonsense of the cultural left that a lot of people resent. It brings together soft on crime. It brings together illegal immigrants. It brings together taxpayer spending on all of the above. You put all those together, that is quite a wallop. You probably have seen that ad by now. You're going to see a lot more of it. I'm writing a column and finishing it tonight that this is the final issue here. Some of it pivots from this. Some of it pivots from men and women's sports. Of course, inflation, illegal immigration. Of course, all these other things. But this is something that she just can't move away from. All the other biggies she's tried, but this one she knows her base seems to be wedded to this. And it's in the 75 to 80 percentile of Americans that are on the other side of this. It's very, very potent. And I think the momentum is clear now with Trump. Doesn't mean he's going to win. Nate Silver, remember him? He was a guy that would pop up and always be predicting Republicans are going to lose. Big column in today's New York Times says his gut tells him Trump is going to win. That's what the gut of most analysts right now would say, whether they like Trump or not. By the way, McDonald's, we're on that yesterday toward the end of the show. If you missed it, apparently we started to say Yelp had to stop the McDonald's reviews because of how outrageous the things were. Some of it was, oh, I'm not going to go to McDonald's. You had a felon there the other day serving French fries, meaning Trump. Some of them, though, were just savage, brutal. The guy, as I understand it, doesn't want to do anything yet, but I would encourage people individually to go there. I'm going there next week. We'll have more details with Jim Worthington and some other people to be supportive. I don't think he wants to have someone buy a couple of hours, and as people come, he wants to just continue to sell product, but kind of downplay the mob that's going after him. So much so that Bob Casey Jr., Elizabeth Warren, and others singled out McDonald's in a letter yesterday in the Senate as being the biggest price gouger. McDonald's. You see what this is about? This stunt hurt them. This stunt was brilliant. It played into, is Harris telling the truth about McDonald's? It played into Trump looking natural, common touch. McDonald's likes the food. And it just was great political theater to see this versus the usual droning on. That's why they're going after McDonald's. So it's over there in Feasterville, right on Street Road. I'd encourage you and let them know you're supportive. You know, maybe lunch today, somebody else, something, a milkshake drive-through, get one, and let them know. So far, I don't know if they've been hurt economically or not. I'll know once we go over and meet the guy next week. But this is what they do. Just because of Trump being there, the mob, the public health people coming out of the woodwork about inspections and all that. Look, this McDonald's is fine. This is just the fact that Trump was there. So it's our job to pitch in here and support them. Because whether it be yard signs, the cookie race, or McDonald's Big Macs, people are trying to be supportive. They're trying to ring up those totals. I saw another total yesterday where at Locals, it was 31,000 plus for Trump. 31,000 cookies plus. And around 22 to 2,500, I forget the exact number, for Kamala Harris. Close to 15 to 1. People are keeping score. They're going there. They are into this. They want to win it all. Cookies, Big Macs, yard signs, and the election. All right, let me give you the side question. This is one of my all-time favorite. I would argue this guy was the greatest athlete in history. I know that's difficult, transmitting from one sport to the other, but the bicycle kick, he averaged a goal a game in soccer, which is unprecedented, or more, in World Cup and everything. I mean, just in just the name. Yeah, I didn't know soccer when I first saw this guy. I just thought, oh, my God, look at what he just did. Today is the birthday of Pele, who passed away, 6 months to a year ago. So we're looking today for that one-name celebrity.
What? One name? One name? Who are you, Seal?
You guys were saving that one up. I'm going to take off the board. Even though we know his last name, I think if you just say the first name, Elvis, it becomes apparent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, one of my all-time favorite names, I was telling Ro, come on now, why can't we have this as a name here? Instead, she went with Luke. Imagine Liberace Giordano. Just that name, Dominic Liberace Giordano. Oh, my God.
There's a nice ring to it.
It does. The name Liberace. Who have you ever met that's named Liberace? And finally, and when Dan comes in, I'll redo this just to tweak him because it sets him off. Got to take Cher off. You say Cher, and you know who you're talking about. It's only 4 letters, but we know who it is.
Enemy of fellow host Rich Zeoli.
Oh, why is
she blocked him on Twitter years ago.
Well, she came on my show.
Oh, really?
Now, this was the it was the 2004 election, I believe. Yes. She was on, followed by Donald Rumsfeld, who had not done an interview in 6 months, and the whole world was trying to get the interview. Karl Rove and Terry McAuliffe, who were the Republican and Democrat RNC, DNC, in 1 hour. I don't think any local radio, I know I can never top that. Cher said, I said, Cher, where are you calling us from? My Malibu estate. And she was there to talk about wealth inequality. Oh, my God. And then followed by Rumsfeld, who, everybody in the world wanted an interview with, and we had him. All right, so hit us with that. That is the side question today. Alive or dead, it doesn't matter. Real or fictional, it doesn't matter. It's all in the call. It's all in the choice. Henry, got anybody else?
Yeah, so I'll take the name that inspired that clip I just played a few seconds ago. I'll take McLovin off the board from the famed movie Superbad.
Okay.
It spawned a lot of fake IDs, I'm sure. And then I will also take someone whose birthday was yesterday and helped inspire this question, Ichiro.
Yes.
The all-time hits leader in professional baseball history.
He carried his bat in a violin case.
Yeah.
I mean, now that's what I like.
Oh, I mean, there's no one like him.
Yeah.
He could still play today, too. He's probably, 50-something now? He could still play.
Oh, he'd still get a few
phenomenal
hits.
shape.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard golfers, and not so much just the putter, but the drivers, what I'd be concerned with, don't touch that driver. I mean, come on now. All right, 855-839-1210. So we'll talk with Wally Zimmerlong. Can we stop the ice cream truck from making a delivery to the prison? If you're headed to the McDonald's or have been there, give us an update at 855-839-1210. This guy needs some help. And these headlines are all, again, hearing Trump is a threat to democracy. In the end, they've come up with this as the one thing they think is going to stick. I'm going to play you Alex Wagner from MSNBC coming to Philadelphia. In fact, I think we should get her on this. Stunned to talk to black voters. And one of them actually said something like, all this stuff you're going on in Washington, threat to the country and democracy. That's not happening here in the hood. We don't care about that. We think Trump is better. We'll play that next. And your calls at 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
SNL. So they brought back Alec Baldwin, but not as Trump. They brought him back as Brett Baer.
Just thinking about it right now, I can actually visualize him looking more like Brett Baer than Trump.
Good evening, I'm Brett Baer, and to clear the air, yes, I do look like someone.
At least give it some effort, dude. You should be glad you're not in the joint right now. Does he have the most punchable face in Hollywood? That little perked up face. I just can't stand that guy.
Not a fan.
No.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Attention thrill seekers! It's the Monster Truckload Hot Tub Sale at Springdance Hot Tubs. With deals so monstrous they'll send shivers down your spine. Save up to $5,000 on hot spring in Caldera hot tubs. Plus, the excitement continues with bonus accessories worth up to $3,000, sound system, insulated cover, and more. But beware, these monster-sized deals are only here until October 27th. Don't miss your chance. Visit Springdance Hot Tubs at springdancehottubs.com before these deals vanish for good.
The following is a paid commercial message.
The world was a lot different in 2006. No smartphones, no electric cars. This is how we connected to the internet. And back then, Bob Casey wasn't siding with the far-left liberals. But nearly 2 decades in Washington has changed Bob Casey. Now, Casey's voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports and supported letting biological men into girls' bathrooms and locker rooms. Letting men change next to our girls? That's insane. Worse, Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations. Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes against their beliefs? What is Casey thinking? On top of it all, Bob Casey voted to raise middle-class taxes. Your family struggles, but Casey, he's for they, them. Bring normal back to Washington and fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
See Joe Conklin with Norm Clark and Vince Valentine at the Sellersville Theaters, Saturday, November 2nd.
Joe is awesome. Wonderful. Excellent.
Show was awesome. Merrill Reese was really funny. I thought the Charles Barkley stuff that he did was funny.
I actually looked him up online. I was kind of scared. Oh, I thought it was great. My cheeks are still hurting from laughing.
I just got here. I didn't say it, but I heard it was great.
That's Conklin with Norm Clark and Vince Valentine at the Sellersville Theater, Saturday, November 2nd. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks, this is not a drill, it's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Okay, it is Dom time. Let's go to the Feasterville McDonald's with Mike, who's in the drive-thru line. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling in through the drive-thru. What are you ordering today?
Oh, hi, Dom. You know what? If I go to McDonald's 3 times a year, that's a lie. But, you know what? I was on my way to work, and I heard you were talking about it, and you know what? I had to go get some Trump fries and a Trump fillet of fish.
I love it. That's right. Signature, Mike. Well, I'm very glad you did. What's the mood there? You got any vibe there at the McDonald's?
Not overly crowded at this moment, but okay. I went to the drive-thru. But I would definitely support, like I said, if I go to McDonald's 3 times a year, that's a lie.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know
Mike.
what? I'll definitely make it a point to eat more healthy McDonald's food.
Right, exactly. Okay, Mike. Well, thank you. Mike, do you have a side question answered today? Somebody that's a one name?
Tom, thank you.
Okay.
What's the side question?
Yeah, side question, a celebrity. Today's Pele's birthday. A celebrity that we know just by one name.
How about oh, shucks.
All right, thank you. I thought you were going to say something else. Thanks for the effort, though. If you're headed to the McDonald's, do please call in 855-839-1210. If you're anywhere near there, support them in this. I think it's going to be on Tuesday. The guy's away, back to the home country, and some event, but Yelp had to close down the comments. They had to have security there, all just because of this event by President Trump, which stunned them. So, the guy's position was, this is America, we're McDonald's. Sure, somebody can come there and fry up those fries. So we'll see if we can weather this with him, actually give him a boost is what I'd like to see. Stay tuned next week once we go there. I hope to get an interview with him, bring that back to you. That's what we try to do. All right, side question today. Hit us with that celebrity that we know just by one name. That's all that you need. Let me play you a little bit before I take another call. And we're going to play this throughout. Alex Wagner is a progressive on MSNBC. You may or may not have seen her. She's not Rachel Maddow. I think she's in the Rachel Maddow slot 4 times a week. She came to Philadelphia to talk to Philadelphia voters. Mainly in this cut, there's some black women, but black men, because of all the nonsense going on around. How can't you support Kamala Harris? And she, progressive, is stunned. This is in Fox News. This is MSNBC. She put it out there. Now, you would think she'd put out black people she found says, yes, I can't get enough of supporting Kamala Harris. Listen to how it sounded, some of the criticism and some of the disgust they have for Obama lecturing them that they have to vote for Kamala Harris. Here's a little bit from Alex Wagner.
I believe Trump is going to win because, first off, when people say bad things about him, where does that affect us down here? That doesn't affect our neighborhoods. It has never affected our neighborhoods. We don't even get to see half the things that go on that level.
We know that he's going to win because he is the best for America. He's worried about our economy.
The crime is high. Yes. The violence is high. The schools are bad. Yes. We can go on and on. Where Democrats have been in charge for 40 years.
We're voting for Donald Trump unequivocally. Period. No one else is going to persuade us. We 2 weeks out, and we won't sleep until November the 6th.
So you
know who you're voting for?
Yes, I'm voting for Trump, definitely.
Tell me why.
He's more strong-minded in a way. He's focused on what we got to focus on. Like, he doesn't play. That's what I respect about him.
He doesn't play?
Yeah, he doesn't play. He always just stands for what he believes, and he doesn't go back. No matter how many people are bashing him, no matter people is criticizing him, nothing.
He doesn't take BS. He's not going to hear it. He's a businessman. He's not there for the fluff talk of politics. We need someone strong. We need someone who's going to get down to business and take care of what this country needs, but also understands what the community needs.
The thing is, we were scared in the beginning because he said he's going to nuke Korea and he's going to nuke Iran, but he didn't do that. The stock market went up. There were more.
Pretty high right now too.
Well, but the thing is, because there was no inflation back then. Democrats take granted, especially minorities. They take for granted because they think Republicans are so out of touch with the minorities' needs, so they don't have any choice. And I think that's going to be a big surprise.
You got pockets that there's an energy for Mr. Trump in the city, but a lot of people just walking down the street, they not feeling the Democrats from time to time. Not sure if they're going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
They may not vote at all. The black men that don't vote for Democrats, it's not what Mr. Trump did, is what have been disappointed with. I'm not a dedicated Republican. I'm voting for the lesser two evils this time. Being
all right,
Donald
there
Trump.
we go. That's Alex Wagner. Now remember, put the context to this. This is a Democrat through and through MSNBC show, the same slot 4 nights a week, Rachel Maddow. Comes to Philadelphia, we have more, particularly the women. So she's not setting this up in order to try to do this. And it just seems to me the Obama talk has backfired. Now you can say, well, let's have the world of reality here. Most recent polling, Kamala Harris, 72% of black voters, Trump only 17. When's the last time Republicans getting 17 and leading with Latino voters? This is shocking. It's all coming back to, though, what do these people in suburban Philadelphia do ultimately? That is the wild card out there, the real wild card. All right, we're going to talk with Wally Zimmerlong, big-time attorney. You've heard him over the years with me on anything that we need. He's won federal case after federal case. Remember over in Springfield Township, Montgomery County with the patch and the cops and freedom of speech, the thin blue line. He won that just most recently. He's prepared to file a lawsuit against the Mr. Softy truck coming to the prison. Now, this is a guy that knows the law. When I see this, that's the first thing I thought of. This is just outrageous. He wants to come on and explain that. He's hoping that public sentiment will stop them from doing this. I'm a realist. I'm telling you, this guy out in Montgomery County, this guy's going to go, he's going to roll out a team of Mr. Softy trucks. He'll be making Sundays with the prisoners over there in the county prison. Is Montgomery County that crazed? This is worse than Philadelphia. What's going on here? It truly is. The mayor of Philadelphia wouldn't be doing this. This guy is. Who's supporting that in Montgomery County? All right, Wally Zimmerlong is next, and then we'll start to take your calls on the side, which is simply in honor of the great Pele. Hit us today with somebody we know, living or dead, real or fictional, just by their first name. Of course, Trump is out. You know, I think first name particularly, too, is a lot harder. If you say it, there's only one person that's going to fit that. That's what we're looking for. Hey, Halloween next week. Don't let mealtime or party planning frighten you. Call or just stop into your nearest Captain Chucky's. Pick up that fan favorite, Smith Island Crab Cake Jumbo Lump, and don't forget the Mega Colossal Crab Cakes. Delicious. Check out the variety of homemade soups, too, for a quick, delicious meal. Perfect time to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, the salads, the homemade sides, the dessert. It's all there. Let them plan your meal. Captain Chucky's, too, always has several choices of the breaded, non-breaded crab cake. Literally, crab cake for everybody. The Gulf shrimp. That is the second hitter. That is a star. It's wild caught, never farm raised. And then, of course, top everything with that Dom roll. You got to try the Dom roll. Visit Captain Chucky's today. Go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. You'll get everything right there, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Headed to the shore, visit Captain Chucky's at theshore.com.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
When their world isn't safe, they need someone to notice, to wonder and worry, to be their voice. If you suspect child abuse in any way, report it. You can be their hero. Your call can change their world.
Report suspected abuse by calling 1-800-932-0313 or visit keepkidssafe.pa.gov for more information. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process process ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair and say hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume from New Nordic.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Thanks to Nikki. Apparently, Pele's real name could be Edson Arantes do Nascimento. Pele! Goal! That should be his name. All right, that's a side question today. Wally Zimmerlong called Dan here because he's on the cusp of, I guess, filing a lawsuit against the Mr. Softy truck. But maybe he wants to head it off of the pass if enough people are aroused by this. Let's see if I can convince him that this guy heading up Montgomery County is out of control. He's not going to stop. He's going to drive that ice cream truck right through those front gates of the county prison. Making Sundays there on Friday, I hear. Let's go to Wally on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Wally, thanks for calling us. Welcome in.
Well, thanks, Tom, for having me on, as always. And you don't need to convince me about the guy out in Montgomery County, Mojica. He's out of control. He's a far left progressive that has repeatedly ignored clear portions of the Pennsylvania Election Code and the Pennsylvania Voter Registration Act. We sued him. The Republican National Committee, I was counsel in that case, we sued him over him not properly testing the ballots. And then on behalf of a resident of Montgomery County, I filed suit about 2 weeks ago because over the van, as you call it, the Mr. Softy van, because they were registering voters with this van, also issuing mail ballots and receiving mail ballots without providing public notice as to the time, place, and location of where the van is, which is a violation of the Pennsylvania Voter Registration Act. That case is still pending. And what was remarkable is we were discussing with the county's attorneys the lawsuit, and it was disclosed to me today, I think this is quite shocking, that the county is now going to use the van to go to the Montgomery County prison to deliver and receive mailed ballots to those that are incarcerated in that prison.
Yes, so we've had this for a couple days, and it didn't shock me because of this guy, Wally. It's a question of what can we do about it? Yeah.
Well, we have the pending lawsuit regarding the van. We have a conference with a judge in Montgomery County tomorrow morning regarding our lawsuit. We intend to bring this to the judge's attention because it's our position that if you're going to operate the van, you got to operate as a full-service satellite election office that offers the full panoply of services, voter services, and they're not doing that. So we're hopeful to get this van shut down. Again, this is a complete violation of the Pennsylvania Election Code. So that's the first thing we're going to try to do.
Well, specifically, why is it a violation? What is, because I want to be schooled on it, my gut instincts and everything I know about this, because we know they're going to areas it's not equitable. We know that I can't go and watch them in prison to see what they're doing. How do I know what the heck's going on here? But what is it legally that you say is out of line with this?
So it's interesting. The whole reason that they are allowed to have a van or you're allowed to have offices where you can provide voter services other than the main election office is a 2020 Supreme Court decision that said that counties can have satellite election offices. And the Supreme Court interpreted the election code to say the Board of Elections is just not the main office at the county seat. It's other locations so long as that location is connected to the shore system. And offers the full range of voter services
Okay.
that the regular county board of elections is. So by having that ruling, the van goes out and it has to offer those services. It can't be a delivery van targeted at one group or one constituency, and they just pick up and deliver mail ballots. You have to operate it like a regular satellite election office. It's not like, hey, we're going to open up a fixed office inside the Democratic National Committee's office in Montgomery County, and we're going to call that our satellite election office. You got to treat it like a satellite election office. That's what the Supreme Court authorized in 2020. And they've now taken this and said, well, look, if we're allowed to have satellite election offices, we're going to operate a van. But even if you're allowed to operate a van, which I don't think you're allowed to, even if you're allowed to operate a van, that van has to be connected to the shore system. It's got to be properly staffed. You have to have, like you said, there's all this indicia of public notice and being able to see what's going on, just like you would be able to see what's going on in any other government office.
Yeah. How can I see what's going on in the prison? I'm not allowed in there.
Yeah, so this is activism. This is not voter services. This is activism. This is the Montgomery County Board of Elections hijacking the election code to advance their preferred cause.
Yeah, that's exactly what this guy's doing, Wally. That's why he's a national star. He's been invited to the White House because of his innovations and making people in Montgomery County. This is a test. So far, he's gotten away with it. Even Philadelphia hasn't done anything like this. The mayor of Philadelphia is not doing something like this. I don't like a lot of stuff they're doing. This guy is out there past Philadelphia is what's going on here.
Well, I think Montgomery County and some of the other colleague counties are to the left, to the far left of Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia still has, many sort of what I would call traditional Democrats. The Democrats in Montgomery County are far left progressives. So this is how a far left progressive acts. They will do anything for their preferred cause, even if it means ignoring the basic black and white, black letter law contained in the Pennsylvania election code. But this is a reminder, Dom, that we can get angry, and I can come on and tell people about this, and I think it's important for the public to know about this. This is a reminder that the best way to combat this is people have to vote, and they have to vote now. I'm on these text chains with folks that send me polls and Trump's up and Trump's doing so well. None of that matters unless you vote. And if you want, you don't want this guy to get away with what he's doing in Montgomery County, then you got to go out and you got to vote. You got to vote right now. You can't wait till Election Day. You have to vote. And if you haven't voted, you're not doing anything to stop folks like this.
That's exactly right, because when we vote now, we're getting these stories across the country of early voting and Republicans. It inspires people. Those votes are banked, and there's a lot of these Trump people who haven't voted every time in the last 2 or 3 or 4 cycles. They can target them and go after them. That's exactly right. That's the way to stop guys like this from this nonsense. Also, having somebody world-class like you in the bullpen on every detail of this, it's one of the great honors in talk radio that you're out there and that we've hooked up over the years. So what time do you talk with the judge tomorrow?
I think it's around 11:30.
Okay.
And I'll be sure to report back to you about how that goes.
Wally, thank you. Thanks for popping on today.
Thanks, Tom. Take care.
All right, so I wanted you to know, you're here with, and this guy is as good as he gets. He's hooked in nationally all over the place, that what we're seeing here is being challenged, okay? And my observation about this guy in Montgomery County, he's farther than anybody. Wally shares the same observation, okay? So we'll see what they do. And you heard the case. He kept on mentioning the shore system. That must be the that there's no funny business. This is all connected to the entire system is linked so that we have transparency of a sort with it. How do we have that? I can't go into the prison. You can't go into the prison, the county prison out there. Well, what about the prison officials? I'm not taking their word for anything either. This is what we're up against here. I'm going to ask Al Schmidt about this tomorrow. Now, he's not law enforcement, but I wish he would issue a directive on this. He issued the directive on the Lancaster County people. He's here at 1 o'clock tomorrow. All right, I'd love to get your reaction, 855-839-1210. And coming up, we'll take some of your calls. Hit us with that all-time celebrity, one name, real or fictional, alive or dead. That's all on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Let me tell you about FanDuel for a moment, though. The NBA season, you can make every play, pass, and point mean more with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Check out newer bets like the number of dunks, assists, or three-pointers in the next 3 minutes that are happening in a game. And it doesn't matter if you tap into FanDuel before the game starts or after it's already tipped off. Tonight, Tyrese Maxey, if he doesn't go for 30, I'll be surprised with both Embiid and George out. A lot of coverage on him, but he's going to shoot a lot. That's what I'm looking at. Love that guy. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom for your chance to score $300 in bonus bets with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Friday, October 25th, 6 to 10 a.m. Kale & Company presents The Great Mock Debate.
My fellow Americans, this is your favorite president with a big, beautiful announcement. We'll be live in the South Jersey FOP Lodge 56.
Where do they want me to go? A police hall in South Jersey. No, we defund the police in the Harris administration.
We'll see if she shows up. I don't know. We'll see about it. She's very scared. She's shaking in her boots.
Do you think the audience will wear masks? I don't want to breathe in that deplorable air. All right?
Tickets for the Great Mock Debate at South Jersey FOP Lodge 56 in Berlin Township have sold out, but you can still catch every minute live. Listen this Friday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
They don't call her Confiscation Kamala for nothing. Don't take it from us.
And I support a mandatory buyback program.
A mandatory buyback program? That means the government forcing you to turn in your firearms. To what lengths would Kamala go? Well, she doesn't even support the individual right to own a firearm.
I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country.
We get it. Sometimes it's tough to understand what she's talking about. But on the Second Amendment and your rights, Confiscation Kamala has been crystal clear. Her gun control agenda comes straight from that petri dish of bad ideas that is California. She can claim to be a gun owner all she wants, but we all know she's the same anti-gun California radical she's always been. Don't be left defenseless. Defeat Confiscation Kamala. Vote Trump like your life depends on it, because it does. NRA Political Victory Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NRAPVF.org.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Paoli. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. Welcome in. Before I come to your calls, Kamala Harris in this big NBC Telemundo interview, the guy says, well, nobody's talking about path to citizenship anymore. She jumps in and says, well, I am. So with all of her cover-up about a secure border and all the rest of it, she leavens it, and her pitch to illegal immigrants is, but earn citizenship. A bunch of cocky-memmy things she puts down, and then we're going to say you're a citizen. What it's saying is, well, if you do get here and you wait a fair amount of time, or maybe not even a fair amount of time, you're going to get the lottery ticket. You're going to get to be an American citizen. All right, so she emphasized that this morning. It's another thing for Republicans to emphasize when she says, the border is more secure now, et cetera, and she's changed on that path to citizenship. The numbers are indicative. The American people don't think you should be rewarded for getting here illegally and becoming a citizen. You'll hear the argument, well, we paid taxes, you didn't come here illegally. You came here illegally. None of that matters. I don't care what you did. You don't get citizenship. We know what the channels are. We know what you have to do to become a citizen. That's how you do it. That's the law. All right, let's go to Alan, not a guy, of course, in Yardley. Hey, Alan, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Dom. Thanks. I got to tell you, what a great interview with Wally Zimlong. He's tremendous. And I just want to can I make one comment about the college students?
Sure. Yep.
Residency for college students is imperative if you want to get scholarship money and in-state tuition. So your residency matters.
Right.
My children always had absentee ballots when they were in college.
Mm-hmm.
You can't vote just because you go to school in Montana, but your residency is in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. It's just that way.
Yeah, and all they're doing, and I'm going to ask Al 1 o'clock tomorrow, Alan, about this carefully. Well, listen, what are you accusing them of? Then we'll hear what he has to say. They are giving a lot of due diligence to this because it's troubling that they might be voting in both places.
I agree, and I'm glad you're going to bring it up, and you'll always have a great interview with them. You really hold people to the fire. I love it. And one other thing, the guy that drove through the McDonald's drive-thru,
yes.
I think that's a testament to your listeners. I'm not puffing myself up, but you really draw people in. It's great.
Well, Alan, the guy that called yesterday was very nervous, never called a talk radio station before, but had to call because he was steaming over there. It makes you feel proud of people that were connected to them, that they realized this guy did the right thing. And he said, Kamala Harris, I wish she would go to the McDonald's. If she really did McDonald's, wouldn't that be the counter? And she put some kind of twist on it, showing how dopey Trump was doing it. She doesn't have the guts to do that, though.
Yeah. Well, you're the man to point it out. That's for sure. I do have an answer to the side question.
Sure.
All right. So her name, I don't know if it's how you say her name or it's the way she says her name, but you cannot say her name without feeling like you need to shake your body somehow. Charo.
Yes, the all-time great. And look, she was great with Johnny Carson, Charo, but even better with Merv Griffin. Oh, my God. That was a staple of the Merv Griffin show. Charo. Coming up today, Dan Borowski, Charo.
I'm lost on that. I don't know who that is.
Oh, Google it. You'll see what she means. Robert in Ben Salem knows what it means. Hey, Robert, afternoon.
It's good to talk to you today. Is Dan in today?
Oh, yeah, he's here. He's doing some behind-the-scenes work.
He's around.
Here. Yeah, he's around.
How you doing, Dan? But at any rate, real quick, Dom, I saw a cartoon today that I think you're going to like. It's Kamala Harris driving through a McDonald's drive-thru and a smiling Trump in the window handing her a job application.
You know, Robert, if I were coaching her team, they must think she can't do it. Wouldn't you do something like that and put your own little twist on it to show how ridiculous Trump was, since she did work at McDonald's?
Well, that's true. We would have known if she had by now. And the fact that we don't know tells me that she didn't. But I wouldn't be surprised if she decides, hey, I'm going to go to Burger King next weekend. You never know, man, because she's stealing some of his ideas. But at any rate, my answer to the side question, Dom, I got a duo for you. It is Cheech and Chong. The reason why I use a duo is because when the media talks about them as individuals, they use two names. But everybody knows them as Cheech and Chong. And you guys have a great day.
That is a great one, as always. Yeah, that is a great one. Happy birthday to Pele, and that's the side question today. How could we resist on that? By the way, Friday, we already have this one. I'll save tomorrow's. Bobby Knight's birthday, and Dan, Indiana, and all that. We're going to be asking, what fictional character, celebrity, real, famous person would you want coaching your kid's team? Dan apparently is a big Bobby Knight fan. I see the upside of Bobby Knight. I don't know if I want DJ and Luke coached by him. When I was playing, I would like to be coached by Bobby Knight. A little difference there, a little change.
He'd get the best out of you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thought
yeah,
he'd get
exactly.
a chair coming your way.
Yeah, no, and I think he was incredibly knowledgeable. Just seeing some of the stuff he said later on, very more knowledgeable than anybody can imagine. All right, coming up, friend of the show, David P. Hardy, who founded Boys Latin School, African-American kids mainly in like a classical education. He's with us. We'll talk a little bit of school choice, but mainly we've been looking for somebody to come on and give us the reaction that they have and what they hear to President Obama and others saying, black men, it's almost or is misogyny if you're not talking up Kamala Harris. We played you a little bit of these people in Philadelphia with Alex Wagner making the point, which is kind of how dare you? Has that backfired, or is it getting black men in line in Philadelphia say, yeah, we got to show up and vote for Kamala Harris? And what are her ties to the community exactly? Are they that deep, or is it a little bit strained there? All right, you get in, though, at 855-839-1210.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealestate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
New Jersey, this is Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th, or early in person starting Saturday, October 26th, or vote by mail. Details at vote.nj.gov.
I have a challenge for you. I want you to write down everything that you worry about, from your kids to your bills, from the economy to the election. It would probably be a pretty long list. And when you get to a certain age, you can add retirement to that list. Did you save enough? What do you do about Social Security? Is your money in the right place? And is that 401k going to cause you a tax problem? We all worry about retirement. At Spectrum Wealth Partners, they're offering a complimentary retirement consultation. It's a free meeting to talk through all those concerns. So instead of worrying about retirement, let Spectrum Wealth show you ways to help retire your worries. Call 856-322-8686 or at SpectrumWP.com. And tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 3 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Advisory services offered through Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and Spectrum Wealth Partners are not affiliated companies.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Okay, it is Dom time. Big issues, big guest. Great first hour. David P. Hardy has been an icon for me, given education background for years, and a friend of the show. He is a distinguished senior fellow with the Commonwealth Foundation, co-founder and retired CEO of the storied Boys Latin of Philadelphia Charter School. Now, this may be a little bit dated, but Boys Latin at one point in time was Pennsylvania's first and only single-gender charter school. Student body, 98% African-American and 74% economically disadvantaged, blending classical studies with contemporary pedagogy. Boys Latin offers rigorous coursework and an extensive selection of extracurricular activities that were storied. And that's when we first met him and had him come on. Of course, he is one of the biggest proponents of school choice, which we haven't heard enough about in this election cycle. But given somebody who founded that school, we thought, too, he'd have a lot to say about what's happening, particularly with black men in Philadelphia, but nationwide. And some of the backfire going on here is almost like, how dare you? You must support Kamala Harris is what this has come down to. Let's go to David P. Hardy on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, David, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
How you doing, Dom?
Very well. So, David, that material is still accurate about Boys Latin?
Well, there is another single-gender, all-male school now in Pittsburgh. It's a K-8 school. So we're not the only one, but still the only high school.
So with that background, David, and your political connections now, too, why is it that we're seeing first President Obama, but others suggest misogyny here, if particularly African-American males are not supporting Kamala Harris?
Well, I think it's a mistake to just assume the worst of people. They may have issues with her policies, and I think everybody has the right to evaluate their political options and make their own independent decision. And I think that there are people have been hurting for these past 4 years, and so they have a right to kind of take a look at what they want to do. I just don't see why they don't get the right. They don't have the space to do that. I think they should.
Sure. Well, because historically, no matter what, no matter what Republicans said, no matter who the Republican was, what I guess I'm asking is that Trump, I think, is the secret sauce here, that there are elements here, good and bad, that allowed Trump to break through because the issues have been there, particularly, we'll get to in a moment, school choice. Is there anything you see or hear about Trump that, or is it just a question of time that people are finally fed up of one-party rule and the types of things that haven't gone well?
I think you've been seeing evidence of that for a while, and I think that this is just a continuation of that. I don't think that that this is an anomaly because of Trump. I think this is people learning how to kind of think for themselves, and I don't think that means that those people won't wind up voting for her. But man, when you say I want to think about it, and you get attacked, you kind of feel different. And I just, like I said, I think that was a huge mistake.
Her connection to the community, in other words, saying that she's not African American or something like that, that's a fool's errand. I wouldn't go down that. I don't think it's appropriate.
Never should have said that.
Right.
Yep.
But it seems to be there's some of it is that she's not exactly bonded here. In other words, there's not this sense of this would be not only the first woman, but the first biracial and or black Indian woman. There's not a lot of connection here in Philadelphia that I sense. Why is that?
Well, I mean, first of all, she's from California.
Right. Yep.
And she was the vice president. She wasn't the president.
Right.
So I mean, I don't think she's had a lot of chance here to build a lot of strong bonds. That's just happening recently since she got the nomination. Mm-hmm. But I think it's really tough to run for president, and you have to be able to go 15 rounds. And I don't think that she's had that kind of exposure to the kinds of questioning and the kinds of scheduling that it takes to do this. And it's tough because, I mean, you got to have the stamina. And I think, it doesn't look like, I think she's running out of stamina or doesn't have the stamina for this. And the preparation. And I think it's hurting her.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Now, school choice has not exactly, once again, if there's any election I'd like to see it, it's crowded out by inflation and the border. But is there any idea that this is starting to be not a game changer, but it's moving the needle a little bit, David? Charter schools, school choice.
I don't see that, Don.
Okay.
I saw. I mean, they asked Donald Trump, was he for school choice? He says, yeah. I mean, it's a Republican issue now. They asked Kamala Harris, is she for school choice? And she says she's for charters, and then she starts talking about more funding. So I don't think anybody's really been pinned down to say what you're going to do, how you're going to expand school choice, that type of thing. But it never really does resonate in a national election, in the presidential election. We always wanted to, leading up to the candidacy, they'll always say nice things about it, but when the time comes when the rubber meets the road, that never is a defining issue.
You're one of the people, and I said this the other day, I don't know if you heard it, that I would think of for the Secretary of Education. I'm telling you, the other candidates are also in different ways earth-shattering, and I think unleashed there in a dignified but an earth-shattering way, David P. Hardy would do big things there that would be hard to challenge.
Well, I think that would make a lot of people uncomfortable.
That's exactly what I mean, David. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. So how does this play out in Philadelphia now? Bob Brady has a bet with me, came on. He went nuts. I don't know if I can hold him to it. A lobster dinner, if you can imagine, that Kamala Harris will carry Philadelphia by 500,000 votes. President Obama didn't do that, and he was historic either time. I don't think he even came that close to it. Biden, the third senator, did not come that close to it. How does this...
Are we going to have 500 votes in total?
500,000 win in Philadelphia.
Do you think we're going to have 500,000 votes in total here? I don't think so.
It seems to be dead. The action's more in the suburbs to me.
Yeah, I don't see that many I don't think it's 500,000. I don't remember what it was last time. Did they get 500,000 votes last time?
Well, Obama won by 475 one time. That's what he won by. Yeah.
Okay, so they were probably looking at about no more than 600,000 votes then.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest. I mean, that was his first time.
Yeah.
That was the biggest, turnout ever.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to match that. That's one thing that really is hurting the Democrats because they're using the standard of voting Obama's first term. They're not going to see that for a while. That's tough to do.
Wanted to ask you, too, about rising crops. We're big fans of Eamon Brown, as you know, and I saw you when he announced when he was running for mayor. And, first time around, there's a lot. It's not like running for president, but it's our version of it locally. These guys have to be Democrats to have any kind of chance. But I see his sensibilities and a few others, even one on city council, that I think indicate you're going to see a little bit more freedom of thought of black politicians in this area. Are you seeing any of that?
I think you're going to see a little more of that as far as schools. I think you'll see more positive support, at least in the charter school realm. I don't think we're there at the private school realm, but I think that there's a whole lot of data that says that those kids are doing very well. I don't know if you're familiar. Well, you must be familiar with the Children's Scholarship Fund.
Sure.
Well, if you look at the numbers of their kids graduate at higher numbers, much higher numbers. They go to college at much higher numbers, and they do well in school and do well in life. And they've got the data to prove it. And so, while I'm happy that there's a lot more movement towards charter schools, we need all types of schools. We need private schools. We need religious schools. We need people who are low income to have access to better run, better outcome producing schools.
Absolutely.
And
so, David,
that means we need to have a voucher in this state, and the governor needs to keep his promise and give us
exactly. That. Are you still running Girard College? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Good.
Yes, I am. I'm having the time of my life over here.
How was it when President Biden came there? How was that visit?
Well, it was interesting. I live on campus.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so the Saturday afternoon before, the Secret Service just showed up and started checking out everything to make sure it was safe, and it was an incredible event. Now remember, we have a 10-foot wall around this place, and the event was held in the Armory. So all we had agitators outside, but they couldn't get anywhere near the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was an interesting event to have a president and a vice president on your campus at the same time. I think that was great for the kids to see.
Exactly. David, thank you very much. To be continued. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, Tom, my pleasure. Take care.
All right, David P. Hardy here on Talk Radio 1210. So here's a little bit more. Here's part 2 of what Alex Wagner found when she came into Philadelphia. She's from MSNBC. She's on 4 nights a week. Rachel Maddow usually on Mondays. We played you part 1. We'll play a little bit of this. Here's what Philadelphia women, African American, told her about Kamala Harris and their misgivings.
What are your feelings, and let me start with the women here, about Kamala Harris?
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America, because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy. Right. Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president
That's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a black woman, but yet she's locking up black women and black men and separating families.
All right, there you go, Henry. So there's a little bit more of this visit to Philadelphia and where the trouble spot is. Now, I contend, though, that Trump has broken through. It's not just the issues here a bit, and you're seeing it play out. So the only thing left here is what happens in those 4 counties around Philadelphia. Can they run up enough vote? I think Bucks County, Trump's going to do well. I would say Trump is going to win Bucks County. He's going to win total votes in Bucks County. And Chester County, he won't be swamped. But what about Delaware County and Montgomery County? All right? And you just heard Wally Zimmerlong on with his attorney about the Mr. Softy truck headed to the prison. What's wrong with Montgomery County? What is the dividing line here? 855-839-1210. You get in. Hit us on the side question. Coming up at 1:30, we're going to talk with Laura Trump about all manner of things. She was on the Charlemagne the God show, Breakfast Club in New York, which was bold to go on there, and it was very good conversation. We'll ask her again, the sister, the family really, of this soldier that was killed. That's in the news today that they say Trump slurred the burial cost, is speaking out against the Atlantic, attacking them. This is a coordinated attack along with General Kelly and others. It's obvious to say that Trump is a threat to democracy. That's where we're going back to again. That's what you're going to hear over the next couple weeks. They think that's the argument that will still move people, move them enough to ignore everything else. Doesn't appear to be working up until now. What will make it work? Well, I think it's going to get dramatically higher each day is what we're going to see. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210.
Your weeknights are getting a whole lot better. With Jimmy Fallon, 7 to 10 p.m.
Back when I was a cab driver, trying to make my way in comedy and find some entree into television and radio and everything in between, I was writing articles, mocking sports culture and cancel culture and things like that. And they had booked me an interview on WPHT. They were the very first radio station to ever book me as a guest. We had a lot of laughs. So to be sitting here, 8 or 9 years later as a host in your lineup is obviously a really big deal to me personally.
Jimmy Fallon, now weeknights, 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Following is a paid commercial message.
The world was a lot different in 2006. No smartphones, no electric cars. This is how we connected to the internet. And back then, Bob Casey wasn't siding with the far-left liberals. But nearly 2 decades in Washington has changed Bob Casey. Now, Casey's voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports and supported letting biological men into girls' bathrooms and locker rooms. Letting men change next to our girls? That's insane. Worse, Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations. Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes against their beliefs? What is Casey thinking? On top of it all, Bob Casey voted to raise middle-class taxes. Your family struggles, but Casey, he's for they, them. Bring normal back to Washington and fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Don't miss The Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy. Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in Chester, Delaware County tonight for a town hall. The Sixers are scrapping plans for a 25-story apartment building from their proposal for the Center City Arena. And you could be part of a Rocky mural that will be placed at the bottom of the Art Museum steps.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
Hey, welcome in, everyone. So we hope to have in the owner of Jaime's, which is legendary, particularly in the radio, TV business, sometime today. We know he was traveling, Lou Barston, and I was talking to Rich in the hallway. Apparently he told me that on the Lower Merion Facebook page, he's greatly under fire. Now, that's a business that is iconic if you've never been. I mean, it's, if you've been, you get a sense. It's classic. That they are even taking shots. Why? They had some people film a commercial there. They would let the Harris people film a commercial there if they wanted. And they didn't advertise it as Jaime's. People just figured out that it was Jaime's. So we hope to have that for you in a little bit later on in the show. But we're going to talk with Laura Trump coming up. And it just occurred to me to tell you, Dan's back in the booth here, and I told him about this. But I'm going to ask her. I think it'll be a great question. We're in the closing arguments. Our buddy Robin has put together a bunch of, well, huge Scandinavian business people touring the United States and wanting to know what this election is all about. So I've been asked, Dan, on a beautiful rooftop overlooking Washington Square. I'll have to call up the Founding Fathers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To tell them for a half hour what it's about. I'm going to ask Laura Trump about that. Robin Schaefer of, well, think of him as the ongoing story with the windmills and the whales and all that. I'm honored by this, and Dan may be there. Roe's going to be there. And one guy's a billionaire that I looked up, and the others are big tech / Sweden. Nobody from Finland. I wanted somebody. I wanted a
come
Finn
on,
there.
no Finns?
No Finns.
No
I wanted to
Finns.
talk to them about their system. I think they're mostly from Sweden and Denmark.
Ask them what they think about Money Melody being sung.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring up Money Melody to them. So that's happening right before the election. I think if I ask that to Laura Trump, she'll say stuff about what this election's about coming up that will be really interesting because she is living this in a manner that, well, I know a lot of people are living this. They're counting down the days to this, and you can't even count them down to the election. I'm going to see if Al Schmidt on the show tomorrow at 1 o'clock says, all right, Dom, I think it'll be done by Friday. Can we at least say Friday, not Saturday, as people are predicting here? This is ridiculous. I know we'll hear the excuse, well, we don't open the mail-in ballots. I know that. Until 7 a.m. on Election Day. But mail-in balloting is not as heavy this time, plus better machinery, better ability to do it. I like where they're counting it. It's at a remote warehouse in the Northeast, I'm told, with barbed wire. Always like barbed wire. I'd like several dogs out there. I'd like 100 guys with no necks in guard towers. That's what I want to see. Thank you. So it's a perfect place to be counting the vote in Philadelphia. Dan, you have something from the White House. Now, we're going to ask Laura Trump about this, too. We played Brett Baer talking about, hey, take a look at all these headlines. They appear to be desperate. And this is a coordinated effort to say Trump is the most awful human being, threat to democracy. General Kelly telling you that, The Atlantic telling you that, and a bunch of others lined up, generals, Bolton, to tell you that. Here's what Vice President Harris said about all this from the White House.
So yesterday we learned that Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired four-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him. He wants a military who will be loyal to him personally, one that will obey his orders even when he tells them to break the law or abandon their oath to the Constitution of the United States. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within, and even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens. And let's be clear about who he considers to be the enemy from within. Anyone who refuses to bend a knee or dares to criticize him would qualify, in his mind, as the enemy within.
Okay, let's
like
stop
judges.
it there. Now, Trump has not said that, of course. So we'll ask Laura Trump about this. We played you Brett Baer and the 10 o'clock Dana Perino talking about this looks increased two things. This looks increasingly desperate. They're back to threat to democracy. And two, it also looks to be very coordinated. There are several entities involved here all coming together. Now, do a lot of them have personal animus with Trump? Yes, they do. And some of it, like Liz Cheney, it's because of that and the policy, these unending wars. So we'll see how this plays out today with General Kelly. This argument has not stuck, according to any polling, that Trump is a threat to democracy. People are looking at the border and inflation, and they're making decisions based on that. Some of them are looking at those two things, then they're looking at Trump's personality. They're looking at Harris's inability to even answer. We're back to fracking again in Pennsylvania because of her climate person saying, well, she will stop any movement forward on fossil fuels. So you put all these together and it's going to be razor thin. That's exactly right. The upside, we're seeing more Republicans out there with early voting. Now, I had a guy call in today, and I didn't go to him. I was going to go to him, but I didn't want to get lathered up on this. And he still was beating this drum that he doesn't believe in mail-in balloting, not going to do it, can't wait, he's going to vote on Election Day. All right. We've been down this road before. If you want to do that, I'm telling you, you're not helping the cause. I can't be a blunter about it. It's your choice, but I'm not one of these guys going, oh, that's nice. We know how this works. Now, I got mine and put it in the mail last night, and I feel good about that. Now, I know I'm going to vote on Election Day, but suppose I'm not alive. That vote will count. So, Dan, remember that. I mean, Jimmy Carter, I admire the guy. He was in an early voting line. He's 100. They were wheeling him, and he was backwards like he's barely breathing, and he was doing one thing. He says, that's right. I'm going to vote for Kamala. I admire that.
Did he really say that, though?
That he's going to vote for a Kamala Harris?
Yeah. I mean, is he the one talking?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he's I've seen him and stuff. I don't want to demean. No, I think he is.
I don't want to demean him either, but I've just seen pictures of him.
Well,
and it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, but
Henry's the only one that'll get this reference, but it's like the SpongeBob pizza episode.
Yeah, but I've seen him in conversation, so I admire that he's doing that. He's going to go out no matter what with that. But if you bank the vote, we know this. They'll stop chasing you, and they'll chase after these Trump people. Go figure. They donate to Trump. They buy his stuff. They come to the rallies. But then, they don't show up and vote. It's annoying beyond belief, but we got to get over the finish line. Okay, Laura Trump, on deck circle, a lot to talk about. That first date with Eric Trump, doing that on the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club with Laura Trump was a great conversation. I think she felt that way too. And now you imagine there's antagonism there, but it was very well done. All right, so that's coming up at 855-839-1210. First, let me tell you about my friends at Martin Water Conditioning. They're celebrating their 51st year with their annual anniversary sale. Now through the end of October, save on better water for your entire family. We've enjoyed crystal clear drinking water in our home for years thanks to Martin Water Conditioning. It's a great opportunity for you to do the same. We love it. And the Martin Water Conditioning family is incredible to work with. Nobody is more passionate about water. They're thrilled when they get those impurities out. Save up to $500 on select systems for your home. Improve your drinking water. Martin's is offering $100 off the Kinetico K5 reverse osmosis system. And if you purchase a water softener, you may be eligible for a free Kenex salt monitor, which is worth over $150. Special 18 and 48-month financing is available to those who qualify. Save now through the end of October. Don't miss out. These deals are mutually exclusive and won't last long. One place to go to martinwater.com. That's martinwater.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Our dry stretch continues for at least the next 7 to 10 days. We get up to 80 today with mostly sunny skies. Tomorrow, more clouds, but it will get up to 67, down to 66 and sun on Friday. 70 with some clouds Saturday.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
Hey, Dawn here. When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes, in just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without all the hassle. Trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com. Kitchenmagic.com. Let's cook up something extraordinary. Tell them Dawn sent you.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano Show, fresh off her appearance on The Breakfast Club in New York. Laura Trump joins us in Philadelphia. Laura, welcome back. And I got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. It took guts to go in there, but I think they were reasonable with you. They seemed to like it, particularly talking about your first date with Eric Trump. Next time he's on, we're going to have to get some details from him.
Oh, maybe you can get the real dirt from Eric. I don't know. But thank you. No, you know what? I love going on there because I think that this is it's sort of what Donald Trump has already done. We've got to reach out and ask for people's votes and talk to everybody. And you saw Donald Trump in the Bronx. You've seen him in Detroit. You've seen him in Chicago. You've seen him at a Chick-fil-A in Atlanta. We've got to go out and ask every person in this country to take this election seriously. And so I'm glad they had me on. I was honored to be there.
It was tremendous, and it's just what you've brought to the RNC. You and Michael Watley, what an uptick. Now, Laura, through, talk radio is a funny business. We have a friend who's bringing a delegation of people from Scandinavia to Philadelphia right before the election. They're big tech people. One's a billionaire, I think. And I have to tell them what the election is all about. And I thought as a closing argument, throwing that to you, I will word by word be working this in. What would your answer be to these people coming from Scandinavia?
Well, this election is so much bigger than just right now and so much bigger than just our country. I mean, this is really about the trajectory of the world. We know that whenever you have a strong leader in the United States, the world is stabilized. And you don't even have to take my word for it. Take a look around. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. Look at what's going on in Europe. Look at how all of these bad actors have been emboldened. And that is why we need strong leadership back. The proof was in the pudding with Donald Trump. You had, for the first time in 82 years, a president with no new wars. You had a guy who actually had peace talks with Kim Jong-un of North Korea when he walked across the DMZ about denuclearizing the Korean Peninsula. This was historic and great for everybody. You had the Abraham Accords in the Middle East instead of a war in the Middle East. And on top of that, I think here at home, it's so important for people because we're not just talking about today and the next 4 years. We're talking about the kind of future we want for our children and grandchildren and future generations of this country. Donald Trump never needed this job. He's a guy who would have been far better off personally having never gotten into politics. He's lost zeros off the back of his net worth. He has been slandered and slammed in every possible way. They have impeached him. They have indicted him. He's had assassination attempts against him. And yet he is still in this fight because I think he knows he's the only person who can truly do the job necessary. So it's an important election, not just for us here in the United States, but for everybody in the entire world. We want peace through strength again, and we can have it with Donald Trump.
Couldn't have said it better. I was jotting stuff down. That's the first 20 minutes I have. I'm serious right there with these guys. They'll be, wow, oh, that's what it's about. This continuation, I don't know if you saw it here in Philadelphia. We've been playing Alex Wagner, who holds down on MSNBC, coming to Philadelphia, talking to black men, and more surprising to me, Laura, to black women that really are very, very critical of Kamala Harris, and that's a major reason they're looking at Donald Trump. We're seeing this right here in the cities.
Yeah, well, Kamala Harris is a phony. It's a phony campaign. She didn't get a single vote from anybody. Joe Biden, of course, got 14 million people who voted for him to be the nominee. They pulled him right out, pulled the rug out from under him, plugged Kamala Harris in. And there's been phony enthusiasm for her from the very beginning. They dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into her campaign, worked, of course, with their allies in the mainstream media to try and prop her up and make anyone think that she would be an exciting candidate. I'll remind everybody about 6 months ago, it was Kamala Harris, who everybody referred to as Joe Biden's insurance policy, that he wouldn't have the 25th Amendment invoked on him because she was doing such a poor job as vice president that everybody said, man, no one could imagine Kamala Harris as president, so Joe doesn't have anything to worry about. They won't kick him out of office right now. And yet, here we are. She's phony to the core. She'll even change her accent if it means that she can pander a little bit to more people in this country. And I think the thing with the American people is that people are smart in America, and they really desire authenticity. And there is no one more authentic to his core, sometimes for the worse, but I would say for the better.
Well, wait a minute. The last time
Donald
you
J. Trump.
were on, I threw a question in about French fries because we vaguely heard it. I don't think it was ripe yet then. Then he shows up right here in Feasterville making French fries and working the window.
I mean, it's so good. And you know what? He didn't even try to get in the full suit. He still wore his suit and tie. He took his jacket off and put the apron on. I heard somebody on the left melting down because he didn't have a hairnet on. That's how you know you're winning. You know, it was so great because he was still himself, and even as himself, he can relate to everyone. He can serve you through a drive-through window. He can add a little extra salt to the fries. He can chat with the people who work there on a daily basis and really talk to them like a human being. And I think that it really humanized him. And that's why they're so upset on the left, because Kamala Harris in her wildest dreams could never have done as good a job as Donald Trump working at McDonald's. And I know it wasn't a full shift for all the crazies out there. It wasn't a full shift. He didn't work a full shift. It's crazy.
Closing work to do. I've been telling listeners, this is the first time I voted by mail. Look, I know I'm going to vote on Election Day or I'm dead, but at least my vote's in. But you have to do it. And you were one of the first that we had on that talked about this on a national level when, let's say, in Republican circles, it wasn't that popular. But we're seeing the results. We're hearing in Nevada, there's a guy named Ralston who really covers politics out there. Republicans turning out for early voting one way or another. Arizona, the numbers here with Sean Parnell have gone up by about 5 percentage points. Give us a sense of what you see playing out.
Yeah, and this has been important because we can't go into Election Day in such a deficit and have so much to make up. You just spoke about Arizona. Arizona is a great example of what happens and what can happen in elections when everybody waits in the Republican Party to go out and vote on Election Day. You had that Kerry Lake election, which a lot of people remember. There was this very red district, and one of the polling locations there went down on Election Day. All the machines had an issue, and you had a line wrapped around the block. Well, listen, people have lives. I have 2 young kids. I know how it is. Somebody gets sick. You got to get back to work. You can't wait hours and hours and hours on end in this line, and a lot of people got out of line, and it may have been the reason that Kerry Lake did not win that election. We want you to bank your vote. We want you to go vote early, and then it allows us as the RNC and the Trump campaign to actually use our resources and go after the low propensity voters out there. Those are people who don't vote in every single election cycle, but when they vote, they always vote Republican. We have identified these people. We know how to track them down. So once you get your vote in, we stop harassing you. I know we get a lot of texts and a lot of emails going out from us. I'm sorry. Even my mom complains. But that's why it's so important. And the numbers of people turning up to early vote on the Republican side right now are historic. The first 2 days in North Carolina, you had Republicans outpacing Democrats. Nevada, we are far outpacing the Democrats in early in-person voting. Arizona, Georgia, I was in Georgia on Saturday. The lines were down the street to get into these early vote locations in Georgia. So it is working, but we can't take our foot off the gas. If we keep up this trajectory that we've seen so far, all the way up to November 5th, it will be a massive blowout, bright red map win for Donald Trump on election night. So let's keep it going. Nobody get complacent. Keep getting out there and voting and taking people to go vote with you.
Any website, any place else you'd tell us to go, Laura Trump?
Well, if you don't know whether you're registered to vote, if you want to check your voter registration, find out where to vote in your area, you can go to swampthevoteusa.com. Again, swampthevoteusa.com. Now, in Pennsylvania, the election registration period has closed, so I hope everybody's registered. But you can find out where to go vote in your area, either early vote or election day, at swampthevoteusa.com.
Thanks for coming on. I hope we speak before the elections. And by the way, thank you for doing my homework here. I'm just going to cobble that speech with these Scandinavian guys. It came right from, I can't get you Donald Trump here, but I got Laura Trump.
It's very Kamala Harris of you to just take it word for word.
Yeah,
and,
that's right. I'm becoming a Kamala Harris here.
Yes. Get to the real work. Just phone it in. Let it know.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Glad she accepted that. Now, my work is done. And she pivoted right away to the world. Started with the world.
That was great.
Yes, Swedish, I believe, and Danish. I'll have to come up with some good Danish jokes here.
You should bring a bunch of Danishes.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in Scandinavia. Let me think.
Is the food Danish actually Danish?
Yes, I think it's they're not exactly cuisine. It's a lot of fish, and it's like smoked fish. The one thing they have that this might be a side question now with this. I'm just thinking. We've never done things Scandinavian.
No.
But I do have a good one for
Pam
Monday,
Anderson.
Dan. You missed this. We didn't play it yet. This is cut, Henry, where is it here? The Wildwood cut. Oh, yeah. Cut 20, Dan. We'll play a little bit of this. This is going to be Monday's side question, I think. Cut 20.
A man that I was dating at the time worked for Ramagosa, who owned the tram cars, and I just spoke into a recorder, and then it's been used ever since.
Now she's suing the city and several other entities she says have benefited from the use of her verbal instructions to boardwalk pedestrians.
She has not been paid a single penny for this. All she's received are free tram car tickets, which she usually gives away.
Other defendants include the Wildwood Boardwalk Special Improvement District, which purchased the tramcar system in 2004. The Wildwood Historical Society, Maury's Piers, and St. George's stores are also named. The stores sell tram merch, including plush tram cars that speak when you squeeze them.
It was only as of last year that they started selling the plush toys that had my voice, and they're making money on the toys.
She doesn't like the toys now. That was the final straw. Yeah. Now, of course, I have tram car experience driving the tram car somewhat successfully. I drove it on the boards for a while. I didn't know. Then I drove it on the concrete. We all witnessed that. But suing them over this.
I don't know if I want to take sides here, but if Look, it comes back. My brother played college football, right? And there was a time where NCAA was doing a football game, NCAA football, where they were using the likeness of college kids and selling, their information, right? And I thought it was only right that my brother receive money. If they're going to sell, his likeness, he should receive a portion of that, right? So I feel like this is kind of a similar case here, where the woman, she initially recorded it, I'm assuming for a public service, right, for the tram car.
Boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but also, there's the addition now. If they're selling her likeness, I do think she should earn a little bit of royalty on this, right?
They guesstimated, her attorney, Dan, it's billions of times that this has been used.
Wow.
Or more.
But how many times, attorney, though, has it been used to make money?
Yeah, well, that's the difference here. Yeah. With the thing. Yeah. Let's go to Jay in Sewell, New Jersey on Talk Radio 1210. Today's side question, known by that first name. Jay, what's yours?
The only name in radio, Dom.
Hey. Thank you very much. You know how much mileage, Jay, I've got out of the laziness of people saying right. Don?
D-O-M.
Oh, my God. It's just, such fun. Thank you, Jay.
I don't know. When anybody asks me what I'm listening to, I just tell them the Dom Show. They know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you very much. That's good promo, guys. I'm just saying there, yes.
Noted.
But the Don thing, how many different ways?
Don Geronimo Show.
Oh, right? I've been listening to you for 20 years, Don. Yes, the Don Geronimo Show.
Remember that? That was
great. Yeah, that was great. All right, more calls are coming up here at 855-839-1210. We hope to talk with the owner of Jaime's, who's under fire now because they filmed the commercial there. They didn't even say it was Jaime's, but it was for President Trump, just like the guy over at the McDonald's that's under fire. Let us know if you're headed there. We had a guy call in through the drive-thru. I hope to meet with a guy next week. We're working on it. And again, Yelp had to stop the commentary because of how bad it was, just out of control of people trying to sink this guy who has a thriving business, employs people. And he said Kamala Harris can come here. Why can't Harris, if she worked at McDonald's, put a little spin on it and outdo Trump with something like this? Does she have it in her to do it? I wonder if they're tempted to even try it. All right. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. For years, I've talked about the health benefits of Rescue Natural Supplements. After making their omega-3s a part of my daily routine, from supporting heart health to providing pain relief, they provide essential nutrients that impact our bodies in so many ways. Listen to the recent comment from Carol. She says, triglycerides are at an all-time low. It increased my well-being, while joint pains and muscle aches have decreased too. People like Carol have trusted Rescue with their health goals. And now it's your turn. For a limited time, use the code OMEGA50 for an exclusive buy one, get one free offer on any of the 7 Rescue 3 choices. To get this special radio offer, call 800-26-ALIVE. That's 800-262-5483. Or use the code online at res-q.com, res-q.com. Remember, use that code OMEGA50, OMEGA50. Buy one, get another Rescue Omega-3 absolutely free.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Judge the man on balls and strikes of what his policies were they effective, and did he deliver what he promised he would do, or he didn't deliver what he said he would do. So many people that get caught up in, like my mother-in-law. Did you see what he posted? No, because first of all, I'm not on Truth.
You gotta get that, sneak that audio.
I didn't see it.
It's so
I
funny.
didn't, but gas is $1.87.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
I'm Tahisha Way, New Jersey's Lieutenant Governor, with a message for New Jersey voters. You have 3 voting options in the general election. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. Vote early, in person Saturday, October 26th through Sunday, November 3rd. Or apply for, complete, and return a mail-in ballot. Whatever you choose, vote by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. Details at vote.nj.gov.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart, not like everybody says.
With Dom.
Yeah, that's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan time with Dom. Some less political, but no, you know what? We're going to stay political today because, Dom, I have a Who Did It Better. We're playing some cover songs a little bit early. We got Money Melody coming up at 14 with another great cover song. But, Dom, the all-time worst cover song is option A. I'm going to play it back for you. Then I'm going to play you back in option B, and you got to choose which one you think did it better. So, option A, Dom, take a listen.
Would you take that shot? Or just let it slip? Yo, his palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, his vomit on his.
That's the voice of Taylor Swift, the girlfriend of Travis Kelce, right? That's
right.
Ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting what.
All right, so you got option 1 there, then option 2, Dom. How about we hear from a former president? Take a listen.
Now notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep bomb forgetting.
Barack Obama, Dom.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's worse because I give Obama a little bit of credit for that. He was introducing Eminem, but serious point I wanted to ask. My Eminem knowledge, as you know, is only hyper competitive. I get exactly, particularly that one song. And I think he does that better than anybody. He encapsulates that. It might be the most telling, the music, the moment thing to me. It speaks to me. Exactly. I could see playing that.
It's one of the all-time great hype songs. I don't know if there's much better.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That's a great side question. What's a great song to get you hyped?
You know what? I'm running.
So while you're writing that down, here's some Eminem talking about who's endorsing for president.
Okay, I got a question about him now.
Going into this election, the spotlight is on us more than ever, and I think it's important to use your voice. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote, please.
Out
there endorsing Kamala Harris.
All right, the charge here, okay? I'm trying to, a couple people on Fox. Oh, no, on CNN, and we have the cut. We'll play it a little bit later. Scott Jennings gets into it with the whole gaggle there, the Republican on CNN, making the point, we always hear about misogyny, Trump, and this. A couple of things. Doug Emhoff, do we believe women or not? These women are saying he whacked around the girlfriend, right? He impregnated the nanny. How's this guy to be telling me anything about manhood, really, Doug Emhoff? Maybe he ought to stand down. But has Eminem a history of domestic violence suggested one way or another to hype a song? Have any knowledge of that?
Yeah, no, it's you're right. I do have the audio from Scott Jennings here. Take a listen.
And so when you think about the things he has said in order to sell those records, and you also consider some of the questions that are swirling around Harris's own husband in this regard.
Oh my God. You don't even get 12 seconds.
I'm
not going to let you go into the far end of BS.
I'm just telling you.
Scott,
you can't go. Listen, I can't.
This is the same network, Dom, that's been covering Trump's allegations for years.
No, and this Emhoff guy, look, I gave him credit. The way he talked about his wife at the convention was beautiful. But then a lot of this stuff starts to surface about him. He starts about manhood and all, along with Walls. Who are these guys to tell us about being a man? Give me a break.
That's all I got for Dan time, Dom.
All right, but do you sanction that? I didn't know the history of Eminem and domestic violence in songs.
There's a lot of
the song Kim.
Yeah, you kidding me?
Eminem?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot
about it. He's advocating it, or what is he?
Joking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, in a way that one probably shouldn't joke about domestic abuse.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, give that song a listen.
Look, when you bring up these endorsers, problem is, we all know this, there's an upside, Eminem in Detroit. But if we're, to Jennings' point, if we're going to be attacking Trump constantly on this, maybe you can't be, looking the other way with Doug Emhoff and with Eminem.
Let's just say you're not bringing Eminem for an assembly in an elementary school to teach young boys how to treat women. That's for sure.
Yeah. So if that's the point, I get the allure of using him. There's a lot there, and Obama did a good job. I do like Taylor Swift, though. I like that so much. Even hearing say "yo" is acceptable. All right. So we're still
ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting what he
we're still trying to get on Lou Barson. We'll see what happens. Not promising from Jaime's. Got a lot of people calling in about it, though. And as I said, I talked to Rich, the Lower Merion Facebook page, Dan. Maybe you can pull it up. Let's see what they're saying about it. So it's a famous Jewish delicatessen, okay? And the Jewish Coalition, Republican Jewish Coalition, I know the head guy pretty well. They were given permission to film a commercial there as a backdrop of a Jewish delicatessen, but it didn't identify as Jaime's. And now all hell breaks loose on him also. At least it appears to be. The McDonald's guy. The other side just is telling you, if you are a business, I'm going to give you another one in Norristown that Victor Fiorillo at Philadelphia Magazine just wrote about. He supports them, even though they have a giant Trump sign there, and he's not a Trump person. When does it stop? It only stops if you wake up every day, you beat them, you beat their policies, you put in as many people that are going to push back on them. They're not going to stop this, but they have to be diminished so they can't continue to intimidate people. One of the ways to do that, go over to Jaime's, have a great lunch, go to that guy, the McDonald's out there in Feasterville, support him, overwhelm them with capitalism. That's the way to push back. Buy the Trump cookies, as silly as it seems, at Lochel's. I gave you the number today, if you missed it, over 31,000 to about 2,500 for her. Put out the yard signs. Let them know you're not going anywhere. and they're going to lose this time. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating. Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems. Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
This year's election may determine the future of Social Security.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. I have my doubts about where we're going as a country. My concerns with the election and the economy are that much of our Social Security funding may dry up in 7 years, 10 years, which is not good for the citizens who paid into that system. With the crash-proof retirement system, I can supplement or even replace Social Security and not deplete my nest egg. It's guaranteed. This year, I have earned over 14%. We do not have to pay any fees, and you cannot lose it. I am election proof because no matter what happens in this election cycle this year, I am protected by crash proof retirement.
Election Proof Your Retirement Future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, a lot of people want to get in. We have a lot to set up, so I'm coming to you. We have Dom's Money Melody coming up, and Jaime's in the news, and our buddy Wally Zimmerlong, if you missed it at the top of the show, at 12:30. Big-time attorney, federal attorney, meeting with judges tomorrow on an attempt to rein in this out-of-control commissioner with the Mr. Softy truck headed to the prison with nobody able to see what they're doing when it comes to voters. Brings up the question, are people that progressive and deranged in Montgomery County that they want their vote canceled out by a bunch of people who are in jail? I mean, should you be allowed to be voting from jail? I know the whole thing, felon, second chance. I think maybe a year you're on purgatory. Then if everything's okay, you can go back to voting. But who is it actually that's going to be able to vote in that county prison legally? What are they doing all this for? Because this guy is pushing the envelope, and then he's going to lecture about misinformation, disinformation, and all the rest of it. So we have Al Schmidt on the show tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm going to ask him about all this stuff. If you have a question, an area, send it to me. And again, it's a good thing to bring him on. He likes it. He wants to communicate his point of view. We asked them, bring up some of the areas that you want us to know about. Happy to do that. But we want to ask some questions also about things like this. So Wally is on it. You can say, come on, is this all you got? You're worried about an ice cream truck? It's just outrageous. Stop lecturing about we're concerned with the sanctity of the election. That's right. And then continue to do stunts like this. All right, we also mentioned this ongoing battle with the McDonald's over in Feasterville and Jaime's out there on Montgomery Avenue, I want to say, Main Line. Just a great location. All right, my guys have been talking to Lou Barston. I think he's traveling, flying. We'll see if he'll come on. Dan, you went on the Facebook page of Lower Marion. Rich said he had been on there. And some people are complaining about how dare they be there. Some are complaining the depiction of the women that are involved. They think it's stereotypical.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's about 70-30. It's a lot of political arguments. Is Trump anti-Semitic? It's horrible that Trump did this. There was an ad out of Jaime's. How could Jaime's do this? But there's some, like this comment from Jamie who writes, I'm repeating myself here, but growing up, we were loyal to Jaime's. Started when it was owned by brothers who were Holocaust survivors. The place improved when the Barson family took over. My mom ate at Barson's Deli when she was a kid. Jaime's been a favorite of my family for decades. But here's my opinion. As a Jewish woman of a certain age, the ad was an affront with awkward stereotypes of Jews. It's an embarrassment to me, and it makes me sad.
Some of them think that Trump is anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising commentary, all right? Because I think, if anything, we know where the anti-Semitic arguments often come from, where the mob is on the other side that are anti-Israel at best.
Lori writes, someone commented the other day that Trump is anti-Semitic. I doubt that's true. His son-in-law, his daughter, and his grandchildren are Jewish. That would make for a very tense family dynamic if he was anti-Semitic. Why are Jews supporting Democrats when they have party members that are protesting against Jews in Israel and are supporting Palestine?
Or more. I mean, the argument when Kamala Harris the other day told the pro-Gaza mob that was screaming at her, you'll be escorted out, but I understand your point. What point did she understand?
And some of it's not Trump's anti-Semitic, but it's that it's a dog whistle, and he enables those who are anti-Semitic. Like a comment from Megan says, I don't understand why anyone thinks Trump will help keep anyone in a minority group safe. I'm going to start recording things directly people are saying to me that they feel safe to say around me because they think my physical appearance implies I'd lean towards their thinking. But oh my God, I can't repeat or wouldn't dare to say what I hear. So much of it honestly scares me. Now, I don't believe all Republicans feel that way, but I do believe the extremists that hang on Trump's every word and ignore his whose blatant lies and hateful acts are 100% out to see the country become their idea of an America that reflects what they see in a mirror. When the mics are off and the audience is what they consider pure, they don't pretend otherwise.
Well, I would say in answer to her, and anybody's welcome to call in to post at anything about Jaime's or has been there, I would say to her, look at the evidence of what the Democrat Party has had to put up with to keep their base going. The Hamas supporters, the college campuses, the sheer anti-Israel, anti-Semitic stuff that is no doubt. We see it every day. So to that person who wrote, okay, that's what you're hearing. I would argue that's a kind of tired stereotype of the Republican Party. Look at where the energy is on this. It's certainly even in Michigan, Democrats are on the ropes because of people that want you to believe Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Let me go to whose ad is this, Dan?
It's the Jaime's ad, if you wanted to hear.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear the Jaime's ad. Yeah.
Did you watch the news lately? Israel's under attack, anti-Semitism like I never thought I would see.
Did you read about Samantha's boy, Max?
No.
He got spit on just walking at Penn.
I mean, that's scary. What about Kamala?
Busy defending the squad.
Ay vey. You know, Trump I never cared for, but at least he'll keep us safe.
Mm-hmm. I never voted Republican in my life, but I am voting Trump.
Amen. RJC Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this message.
Boy, all that out of this short ad and how they figured out it was Jaime's. All right, let's go to Richard, who just left Jaime's and had a great lunch. That's a start. All right, Richard, what would you say the signature dish? The corned beef and Jaime's?
Well, the pot pastrami is very good, but I had lox and bagel. It was delicious.
Are you a lox guy, Dom?
No, not at all. No, I have to, this.
I went on a search for it the other day. I couldn't find it, so I guess I got to go to Jaime's now.
Yeah, there you go.
It's interesting. I had run in 2011 in Bala Cynwyd with Lou Barson, was in the adjoining district for the township commissioner office. And I actually had to move. I had lived there 25 years. We raised our kids there in Bala. And after the election, I had to move. And Lou got a lot of guff after the fact and during the election. It was actually quite nasty.
Well, what's happening with this, Richard? What do you think of what's going on with Jaime's now?
It's the same people now. Jaime's was very busy. I don't see if they're trying to boycott. It's not working. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was nice. It was the usual Jaime's that I've known for 30 years. And it's the same people that ran me out of town and gave him such a hard time. It's just very nasty for someone who is working for one position north of a dog catcher.
Yeah,
it was awful.
I hear you, Richard. Who's your celebrity with one name?
I have a bad one. It's just Napoleon.
Okay, that's a very good one. Napoleon complex, the whole thing. Napoleon, you talk about comebacks. Why didn't they, take him out? They sent him to an island. He comes back. They sent him to an island. I think it was the third time he didn't come back. But, yes, Napoleon.
Not a great comeback.
Napoleonic law, Napoleonic.
Does it demean or lessen a comeback when your last comeback is not good?
No, I'm shocked after the stuff that he did as a dictator, how many wars he had going on around the world, Dan. The only thing that stopped him was the Russian winter. Ultimately, it stops everybody. They all think, nah, it's fiction. Let's go to Joe in Westchester. Joe on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Joe, what's your one name person? Yes.
Okay, it's Ike. I'm old enough to remember I was born in 47.
That's a good one. Everybody loves Ike Eisenhower, who is a president. There were some good things, but yeah, Ike. Coming out of it. People don't know it today as much, but it was big. Let's try Jim in the Northeast, Talk Radio 1210. All right, Jim, what's yours?
Mine he makes me hungry when I think about him, and he would do anything for love. John, it's
Meatloaf, yes. All-time great. I don't know about the music, but character. Without a doubt.
It's such a great lead-in, too.
All right, Dan, this leads us into Dom's Money Melody.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
All the money gone.
Today, we're playing for a pair of tickets to see the Brubeck Brothers Quartet on November 2nd at the Zlock Performing Arts Center, the campus of Bucks County Community College, one of our favorite spots for Talk Radio 1210 events. Dan?
Yeah, Don, today we're going to do a cover song by somebody with one name that's been mentioned on the show already, not by any of us, so that's a little clue there. Today, Dom, we're doing a song that is definitely not about drugs. Do you think Puff the Magic Dragon is a song about drugs, Dom?
Yes.
No, it's not. Believe it or not.
Well,
1964 Newsweek magazine article ran a cover story about hidden drug references in popular music, highlighting Puff the Magic Dragon and all of the details. I'll get into it after the song.
Okay.
But Dom, it came from a newspaper article there. They asked Leonard Lipton, the poet who originally wrote it, and he wrote it on the campus of Cornell in 1959, where he says no one smoked marijuana, so it wasn't even on his mind when he wrote it, and said it's disgusting to think that you'd want to propagandize that to children. But there is a good case for it still. I'll get into that afterwards. But Dom, today we're playing a cover of Puff the Magic Dragon, looking for that one named individual who's doing the cover. Take a listen.
Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff.
I think pretty good cover.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Distinctive voice, yeah.
We're looking for the one-named singer there doing the cover song. And, Dom, you heard the song there. And this is the argument for of it being a marijuana song. It is in China, chasing the dragon was a well-established reference to inhaling narcotic vapor. The name of Puff's friend, Jackie Paper, identified as a reference to rolling paper. Phrase by the sea means, they were saying on Newsweek, by the sea, letter C for cocaine. Autumn mists evoking the song, they're saying, represent marijuana smoke. Land of Honolulu, they're saying, was a thinly veiled reference to the area around the Hawaiian village of Honolulu, where a particularly potent strain of weed was grown. But Leonard Lipton again denies all of that and says it's nope, just a song about a guy or a kid growing old. Dom, we're just looking for the cover artist today. One named cover artist of Puff the Magic Dragon.
All right, it's 855-839-1210. Hit us with that, and you're off to the Zlock, not the land of Honolulu or whatever they say. Honolulu. It is a drug rep. Come on, there's too many coincidences in there, I think. 855-839-1210.
Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea.
If you missed WPHT's Politics and Pints with Dom Giordano and Donald Trump Jr., now we have your chance to see it from the comfort of your own home.
When your grocery costs go up by 20%, it hurts you. It doesn't change anything for Taylor Swift. It's not going to stop her from flying on her Global Express. I don't know that she's in tune.
This Thursday night at 8, you can watch it in its entirety on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Click the subscribe button. That's Thursday night at 8, exclusively on YouTube at 1210 WPHT.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, 5378. That includes your airfare, dining events at the winery in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
There's a chill in the air. You flip on the heat, and nothing. And why does it always happen right after you've finally gotten cozy? For as little as $13 a month, Oliver will keep your home's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems in check year-round. And guess what? Membership also comes with yearly inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, plus priority emergency service.
Call Oliver for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
Are you worried
Worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The 2024 presidential election is here. With the race neck and neck and with so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground, and we're breaking down the numbers until every last vote is counted, providing you with insight on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2024 presidential election Tuesday, November 5th, and listen to MSNBC Live on the free Odyssey app or wherever you watch MSNBC.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone? Show me the money. That's right. Every day around 2:12 or so, we have Dom's Money Melody for a great prize. Dan, let's hear the clue today. Looking for the cover artist.
Cover artist, and a little extra clue, Dom. How about this guy was once married to one of the most desirable women in the world. I'll put that out there. Take a listen.
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Not about drugs, Dom. Nope.
All right, let's go to Tony in Delco. They sing this song in Delco. It's like the national anthem, I think. Tony? Tony, who's covering that song?
I may be wrong here, but I think it's Donovan.
No, isn't Donovan isn't Donovan Brandy?
Huh?
She was a fine girl. Brandy.
Oh, no, that was...
it was a one-word person. I think it was Donovan.
Brandy was Looking Glass.
It was a one-word musician, I thought. No?
Looking Glass.
Oh, Looking Glass. Okay. Yeah. Bruce in the Northeast. Bruce, welcome in. Who is it?
Hey, Dom, how you doing? Yeah, Brandy, you're a fine girl. That was Looking Glass. We're wild guess here. Sting.
That's who I thought it was, too. All right, thank Bruce. Sal in Malvern. Sal, who is it?
Yarrow?
Who?
Yarrow? I heard of some. Did you ever hear this guy called Yarrow?
No.
All right, quickly here. We got a lot of.
I'm just going to throw it out there. He did a song in the 90s, Dom, for Batman that really set him apart from most other people. He's also known for very specific facial features, and again was married at one point to one of the most desirable women in the entire world.
Who was the woman?
A supermodel who also served as a judge on America's Got Talent.
Okay, let's go to Chuck next in Paoli. Chuck, who is it?
Seal.
All right, very nice. Who was he married to, Dan?
Heidi Klum.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Okay. Seal, covering that song, and originally it was by...
Well, it was a
Peter,
poem,
Paul, and
actually.
Mary.
Yeah, it was actually a poem that came out of Cornell, and then it was picked up and made very famous by, as you just said, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Okay, perfect. All right,
Three one-named individuals.
Yes, headed off to the Zlock. That's the side question today. By the way, I mentioned early on today, this ad, now maybe National Review is going too far. There's a ton of ads out there. It's entitled, you don't need to hear it really, Nonsense. And it opens with what appears to be a parody. It's that famous clip of Kamala Harris supporting taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. The ad continues for illegal aliens. It's a grand slam for Republicans, says National Review. You got the left-wing cultural nonsense, waste of taxpayer money, coddling criminals and illegal immigration, all in one 30-second ad. I still think this whole idea of Harris not giving up. She's giving up on everything else. Obviously, lying about fracking, but she claims to have given up on it. This is the one area with the Brett Baer interview and constantly where she won't backpedal, that she thinks this is the law. We have a duty to do this. What about transgender rights? It's amazing to me. It's a toxic, radioactive issue. If America believes this and sees it enough, it is a game changer. That's the point they're making with this ad. By the way, in this San Jose State University with the transgendered player versus Nevada, Nevada is now saying the volleyball match, which none of the women at Nevada want to play, or some of them don't at least, will now be held at San Jose State. In other words, Nevada has the home court advantage. It's a home match, and they want to play it at San Jose State. The reason being, it's so toxic in Nevada. I'm convinced that the reason, Dan, too, is what is Nevada? A swing state. They're calling attention to, they're giving up a home game and saying, we're going to play this game, and it will be at San Jose State in California, obviously. This is how crazy this administration is. Even though the majority, at least, of the team and some women on San Jose State are in opposition to this because of this transgendered woman or male who is spiking the ball, going crazy, doing that. So there we go. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. And this is a UN study about when we're told by people like Martha Raddatz. Remember Martha Raddatz, only a handful? When we're told, what's the big deal with these female athletes lose? It's not common to see this. UN report says by 30th of March, 2024, over 600 female athletes in more than 400 competitions have lost more than 890 medals in 29 different sports. Talking about the incidents that have happened. Now, this is worldwide, of course, that the replacement of the female sports category with a mixed sex category has resulted in increasing number of female athletes losing opportunities, including medals when competing against males. Rather than safety, that's one of the biggest things to me. And now the LPGA is allowing a transgendered male to compete in qualifying to be on the LPGA tour. And that person has made it through one stage. If they get on the LPGA tour, it's guesstimated they will have a 30% advantage in driving distance. I mean, there's a reason why, and I'm not being disparaging of females. Dan and I were kidding. Luke and I played with these kids, really good high school players. They were playing from the blue tees. We were playing from the white. It was like a 25-yard difference. Dan, even then, they were close to out-driving us. And we were hitting the ball pretty well. The women's tees, the red tees, I don't even know how many yards more up they are. So what's the reason for that? Because there's that big of a difference. Picture somebody out-driving women on the LPGA tour by 25 to 30 yards almost every time. Let's see what happens. Let's see how far that goes if this person gets on the pro tour. And let's say they started to win. Let's see if is that what it takes? Maybe they should be in the WNBA. 6'10" Dan Borowski should be playing. Well, I added a few inches of height there. Sorry about that, but you get the point. Or somebody really good. I think Allen Iverson could come out of retirement, Henry. What do you think, and score 40 in the WNBA? Maybe 50.
Yeah, probably pretty easily.
Pretty easily. Yeah. I think.
How far do you drive?
If hit well in the 250 to 260 range.
All right, Nelly Korda, average drive distance 267.
Yeah, they're the top level, but this
Michelle
person,
Wie 274.
Right, but this person though is a scratch golfer, male.
Yeah,
they could probably carry it 280 to 300.
Yeah,
yeah. So you start hitting it out there continuously that way. And that's, I can't imagine, better players on the Pro Tour, what they would do.
I feel like women are better putters than men, though, no?
They're not.
No?
That's the thing.
Really?
They're not
I think with their
statistically.
precise nature. I mean, men are oafy, like me.
Yeah, but it's a competitive thing. To be a top putter on the Pro Tour, men's, you got to be unbelievable. And you're used to competing against it. I thought that, too. I've seen several studies saying not that.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
but think of Allen Iverson, since this is Philadelphia. I could just see him coming down the court, still blowing right past these people. And then he would be among the bigger players out there. He would think, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. You're trying to guard him. He's determined to go to the basket on you. And he's been out of the NBA, 10 years? Doing God knows what.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Take somebody who's only just last year or so in the NBA.
Anthony Tolliver.
Yeah.
Random player.
Random player. Yeah, they'd score 25 to 30 points pretty easily. All right, so 855-839-1210.
They did a movie on this.
On what?
What you're talking about.
Juana Man?
Yes.
Okay. Hit us on the side question. Got a couple of other updates. And if you've been to the McDonald's or Jaime's, let me know. Jaime's seems to be doing pretty well. One other comment I neglected to play, and I'm seeing KJP address it here. Here's President Biden talking about, this is cut 11. Listen to what he says about what should be done to Donald Trump. Now, you know what, Dan? He takes so long. Let's play the Waters one. Really, it's brutal.
Really does
the
take
guy
a while.
really, it's brutal.
It's a lot of silence.
Yeah, let's play cut 9. Here's Jesse Waters talking about Biden saying, let's lock Trump up.
Oh, if that doesn't work, Biden has a better idea.
Thinks he has a right under the Supreme Court ruling on immunity to be able, if need be, if it was the case, to actually physically eliminate, shoot, kill someone who he believes to be a threat to him. I mean, so I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
That's what the crowd wants there. Now, it's going to be interesting. Molly Hemingway, I'm not going to play this part, made a great point last night. I think it was on with Brett Baer. This lawfare on Trump has backfired. Every time they go down this path, it doesn't work. Every time they punish him, more people rally to him. So what are they going to try now? He's going to kill the country, death of democracy. Hitler, we're back to that again. And this is a very coordinated effort with the Atlantic, the family that they say that Trump impugned when they were in service to the country. They've already come out against the Atlantic article today. They're looking at defamation, and I think they would win. Then you have General Kelly, and you have a bunch of others, and you're going to hear almost nonstop this over the next week. You're going to try to see if this sticks all around. Trump is going to be Hitler. Trump is going to be a fascist. By the way, we don't want to get into the weeds, but this whole idea of fascism is the government control of industry. Is Trump about that, or is he the ultimate capitalist? That would be more what Democrats want to do. I'm not calling them fascists, but that's what fascists do. The government can control industry better than private business. That's Mussolini. That's what that's about. All right, so 855-839-1210. You jump on board. We're going to get to the side question and a bunch of other stuff on Talk Radio 1210.
Weather is sponsored by United Tire. Our dry stretch continues for at least the next 7 to 10 days. We get up to 80 today with mostly sunny skies. Tomorrow, more clouds, but it will get up to 67, down to 66 and sun on Friday. 70 with some clouds Saturday.
Do you need a pumpkin spice oil change? No. What you need is the best price on name brand tires. United Tire is doubling every manufacturer's rebate. If tires have a manufacturer's $100 rebate, you save $200. UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
The following is a paid commercial message.
The world was a lot different in 2006. No smartphones, no electric cars. This is how we connected to the internet. And back then, Bob Casey wasn't siding with the far-left liberals. But nearly 2 decades in Washington has changed Bob Casey. Now Casey's voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports, and supported letting biological men into girls' bathrooms and locker rooms. Letting men change next to our girls? That's insane. Worse, Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations. Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes against their beliefs? What is Casey thinking? On top of it all, Bob Casey voted to raise middle-class taxes. Your family struggles, but Casey, he is for they, them. Bring normal back to Washington and fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter. Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
Dano Show, welcome in. So we've had on the Republican commissioner of Philadelphia, the minority commissioner, Seth Bluestein, who, we get along with. He comes on the show. He's in a battle with Elon Musk, and I don't know if Elon Musk overstated the number of people that are registered or were registered in 2020 from this homeless shelter in Philadelphia. But I would say this. The response to Musk about this shows you the flaws in this with drop boxes, etc., where I'm seeing various numbers. Elon Musk said 5,200 voted from there, or ballots were sent there in 2020 election. The answer is, Bluestein wrote on X, there were not 5,200 in the 2022 general. Fewer than 150 ballots were mailed there. He told the Inquirer on Wednesday, though, Dan, here's the number here. Maybe we will get him on. We have Al Schmidt tomorrow. I think I can address it with him. There are 2,200 people registered to vote from that address. Now, here's the dilemma here. Again, Elon Musk might be off with that original thing. You got 2,200 people from this one address. Who's monitoring this when they're voting and those ballots are going there?
Who are you to think that 2,200 people don't live in it, Tom?
Right. And these are homeless people, et cetera. What's the form of identification? Who do they have? And this brings us back to the whole thing. Let's keep his name in abeyance for tomorrow, Dan. Maybe we'll have a doubleheader. Because I want to ask him, who's monitoring this, though? These 2,200, are they going to drop boxes? Are these people taking it individually and mailing it themselves? Is one person there at this, it's called Brother Love, I think, the Inquirer says. Are they able to then, are they certified that they can carry those 2,200 ballots? What about the ballots that are not used? How do we know that this is happening? And 2,200 from the one spot? So maybe Elon Musk overshot with the 5,200. But Seth, who's talking to the Inquirer, says 2,200 people are registered to vote at the organization's Broad Street address. Now, if this doesn't open up, this is ripe to abuse. We all know the film with Dinesh, okay? We've had him on. We did that whole thing. All right. There are people going to those drop boxes, putting in more than one ballot. We got to go through the legal procedures against. First of all, we have too many drop boxes. We should have no drop boxes, but obviously we have too many. And this whole thing, 2,200 people from one address. Who's getting it there? And think of the chaos, Dan. 2,200 homeless people in one address. People coming. The sanctity of the ballot here is questionable to me. So we're putting him down. Al Schmidt at 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to ask Al about this, but if we're not getting enough with him directly, then we'll get Seth on. I think he'll come on. He's blithely telling the Inquirer 2,200 people are registered to vote at the organization's Broad Street address. Like, this isn't something, with all due respect, you get something enormous like that, don't you think we ought to have a person assigned to figuring out how this is operated? I mean, who's in charge there? They're not elected officials. Are they going to certify that there's no shenanigans, nothing here? This seems like a faulty system. I mean, I'm telling you, legitimately a faulty system. Do we have to put Linda Kearns on the homeless shelter watch here? How many homeless shelters are there in Pennsylvania like this? What's the number? Al might know that tomorrow. Dan, I bet there could be, smaller than this, there could be upwards of 10 to 15 to 20,000 votes. Mail-in ballots are going off to homeless shelters or places like that. Now, we're in an election where this could be under 20,000 votes. Who knows? It's going to be very close. It would seem to me this is a flaw in the system. I'm trying to be as, buttoned up on this as possible. So we're on it. I mean, meanwhile, Montgomery County is sending a Mr. Softy truck to the prison to get their votes. What are the likelihoods any of them are? Well, that would be hilarious if they voted for Donald Trump. They're intrigued because of the lawfare against him. People in prison.
Can you play something out with me? Because I've always been curious, and I think it's this way. Like with this old nursing home, and now we're talking here with the homeless shelter.
Yes.
The people that are registering, the names that are registered, they don't even have to see the ballots for it to be dropped off, essentially, right? Like a person that's sitting in an office can receive this mail.
Right.
Forge, essentially, signatures, drop it in a box if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's rife with abuse. Like, what identification?
And again, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying this is happening. I'm just curious.
No, I know you're
something that could happen.
Well, we're saying they don't have a home address. How do they have identification, though? Who's identifying? Who's involved in this?
Yeah.
Isn't this a situation where it needs some tightening up? If you're homeless and you want to vote, this is flawed. I don't want my vote canceled potentially by this. I don't want my vote canceled by people in a Montgomery County prison. So you have people pushing the envelopes here and then screaming at us it's misinformation. Now, I don't think Elon Musk is accurate, per se, 5,200 from the one address in 2020. But here's Seth, who's in charge of voting in Philadelphia, says 2,200 are. So our strategy is going to be this. We have Al Schmidt come on tomorrow. I'm going to ask him about this. If he says, well, he's not, on top of that in Philadelphia, then we'll bring him up and bring him on. Should we not be concerned, to Dan's point about this? Of course we should. Everybody that's legal, we want them to vote. But we don't want to see people showing up at drop boxes with 10, 20, 100 votes. This has happened. We know it in Georgia, Pennsylvania, in the swing states. All right, let's go to the, side question today, too. Let's go to Bill in Bucks County. Bill, you were just at the McDonald's. What did you see there?
Well, actually, I'm still here in the parking lot, just sipping on a Diet Coke.
Okay.
And I did get an order of Trump fries.
Oh,
so.
That's what they're calling it. Good, yeah.
Are they tinted orange?
That's what I call it. Yeah, so everything seems to be normal out here, except one thing. There are 3 men dressed in black, wearing body armor, which looks like they're carrying weapons, which might be similar to a Glock 19. So
yeah, well, that fryer is pretty dangerous. Might need the body armor. Yeah, they're private security. To your point. All right, who is the person?
There's 3 of them out here.
Who's your person, Bill?
Well, I'm from Bucks County, so my person is Alicia Moore, also known as Pink.
All right, there you go. Noted Trump hater.
Fantastic singer.
Yeah, she's
really good voice.
Why is she then doing all that flying in stuff? Is that a Gaga imitator or what? Why is she?
She likes to put on a good show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those things are not.
I think her voice would stand alone if she wanted it.
I think so too. Yeah. But that's dangerous stuff. I mean, we anything with that can go wrong. All right, let's go to the Earl of Tacony here. Hey, Earl. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. I need to go all zen on you for a moment. Don't listen to what people say. Listen to what people don't say. Remember when Kamala said she worked at McDonald's and said she did it to go through college and she worked there for 3 weeks? So she only went to college for 3 weeks? Or was it only that she worked there for 3 weeks because she wasn't any good at her job and they fired her, that she couldn't handle being the fry cook? No one's asking that question. It's like, why was she only there for 3 weeks? Everyone keeps saying she worked at McDonald's. She did. Don't say that she didn't. But no one's talking about the fact that she admitted that she wasn't there for that long. Did she find a better paying job, or was she just incompetent?
Yeah, and there's no record of this. Nobody remembers. So it's obvious to me this is questionable, to put it mildly, but Trump was able to use this in one of the greatest political theater stunts we've ever seen.
But you were proud of yourself that you came up with Cher as a single person name with only 4 letters. I'm going to have to try and beat you with that. I'm going to go with someone with a single word name. In fact, 1 letter. His name is M. He's a British musician, did the song Pop Music, because 80s music is so great, he came out with that song in 1979.
All right, M. I don't have any M knowledge, but that's okay. Dan has it there. Okay. All right.
Great song. Huh?
Yeah.
Very obscure one.
Yeah, try looking that up. Pop Music M.
Right.
Yeah, try finding that.
All right, it's the lightning round next. We had some great stuff today on this and great guests. And tomorrow, as I said, Al Schmidt and this 2,200, Seth. Don't say it as just a given. I mean, we want to be reasonable here, but checks and balances on this, right? Mr. Softy Truck's headed to prison, and we're told misinformation? No, that's what they're doing. Why would we worry about it? Come on. If you want to get buy-in that everything's on the up and up with this, you got to stop this stuff, progressives. You really do. All right, the lightning round next, and we'll tell you what's on the show tomorrow. The NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch up on all the action because right now FanDuel is going all users 3 months, giving all users 3 months of the NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater, place any $5 bet on the NBA. Great storylines. Sadly, the Sixers tonight. Will Maxey go for 30 points? That's what I'm predicting. He needs at least 30 tonight. If you're new to FanDuel.
Sorry,
yes.
I don't mean to. I want to play this out, though. Over under 222.5.
222.5. I'd take the under.
Jared McCain, 3+3s.
And
no, under. That's no way. Yeah,
please.
Yeah, no way.
He's the man. You'll all see.
And spread +4 for the Sixers.
The Sixers are favored by 4?
No, underdogs by 4.
Underdog by 4? No way.
You don't think we're going to
Doc Rivers is coaching the other team, but still, they got nothing tonight.
All right, so under 222.5, -4 for the Bucks.
Right.
And 30-plus points for Maxey, $10 will win you $79.77.
Ah, very nice. Let's
Sorry,
put that
Henry,
one.
I didn't include your 3 points.
Let's put
Your
that
loss.
down now. All right. And if you're new to FanDuel, just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. You can make every moment more at FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Ron Jaworski here. Have you been dreaming of a new shower to replace your slippery, ugly old tub? PJ Fitzpatrick can install a low threshold or low entry, fully customized jacuzzi shower system in just 1 day. It is surprisingly affordable and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Trust me, a happy bath makes for a happy life. Better yet, trust PJ. Visit trustpj.com to set up a free design consultation and take advantage of the fall promotions. That's trustpj.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
It's Dom time. Dom Giordano. Weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Dom's Lightning Round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease a 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. See store for details. And they always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, today's Pele's birthday. We've been talking about those one-name people that you know it immediately, living or dead, real or fictional. Let's go to Alan in Hamilton. Hello, Alan. Who's yours?
Hello. The teenage idol from South Philadelphia, Fabian.
Oh.
That's a very good one. Yeah, Fabian was the only one I think that was one named with all those guys. It's a good one.
Dion?
He wasn't from South Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. John in Saratoga, Pennsylvania. John, where's Saratoga?
Saratoga is right next to Sanatoga, and it's right next to Limerick.
Ah, all right. Nice golf course up there in Limerick. Okay,
Yeah,
John.
you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. My one name is an American legend who single-handedly stymied the U.S. Army, and I was fortunate enough to see his grave in 1968 at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, when I was in the Army, and that is Geronimo.
And what do we say when we jump out of a plane?
Geronimo, as the airborne does.
Oh, come on. More energy, John. Give me more energy.
Yeah, can we go? Let's hear John out. Come on.
Geronimo.
Come on.
Oh,
Come on, John. One more time, John.
Yeah, Geronimo.
Maybe he's in public at a Wawa or something.
It was a great call, though, up until then. Just if he had given us the juice.
Geronimo!
Imagine Joe of Exton yelling Geronimo. Probably being Italian. Joe in Bordentown. Joe, who's yours today?
Mine is Houdini, who once performed before one of my relatives that he said he'd make the palace bells ring, and it was actually his wife shooting an air gun at the bells.
Very nice. I want to believe the legends of Houdini.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that film where they break him out, he's in the tank, and they're trying to get him out. That's pretty good. Chris in Burlington. Who's yours, Chris?
Good afternoon, guys. I never thought you'd have two submissions today, just a single letter, but I'm going a little further up the alphabet with the letter Q from the James Bond franchise.
Very nice. And we should have taken this one off. Bruce, who's yours?
Yeah, she's probably the most popular doll on the planet. That would be Barbie.
Very nice. All right, Henry, give me a couple contenders today. A lot of a field. What did you like?
Yeah, I liked Robert and Ben Salem's answer, a little 2-for-1 with Cheech and Chong.
Yes.
I also liked the way Jay called in and said it. I mean, we're going to make a promo out of it probably. The answer of Dom.
Oh, yes, that was beautiful.
Don't give Dom one to pick himself. Come on.
Absolutely. All right, Dan.
All right, I'll give Jay and Sewell a nod, too. How about Dom? I liked Fabian with the South Philly ties. Geronimo, though, really got me going with the yelling it loud. So I'll throw my weight behind John in Saratoga with Geronimo.
I like Geronimo, too. It was a 2-for.
Geronimo!
He just should have finished it off with Geronimo. All right, that
really
does
weak energy there, John.
Yeah, John. You're the winner today. We'll put your name into the hat tepidly. All right, Al Schmidt tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And now we have this breaking. Elon Musk versus the Republican commissioner here in Philadelphia. Will Elon Musk open fire on Twitter with 200 million people between now and then? We'll see, and we'll chronicle all of it. Get over to McDonald's. Support that McDonald's in Feasterville. Richie always next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.